Not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
Dang it!
Matt Hayes.
I'm not running over the Barnett Tower and heaving myself off.
Mia O'Brien.
One of those bugs just flew in my mouth.
And Leon Searcy.
Keep everything above the way.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Here we go! Wednesday, XL Prime Time. Thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. Cranking it up on, it's a sunny, cold day. Who woke up and said, what is going on? Now, listen, this is not the lake effect that they're feeling up in Buffalo. This is not the snowstorm that is really, blanketed the Northwest, the Mid-East, and then also the Northeast. It's just cold here. We don't like it. I don't like handling it.
I got to be honest with you. I woke up early,
Yeah.
took my dog for a walk.
Yeah.
I had long underwear on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't listen. I thought about it today.
That's a visual I do not want to see.
No, I mean, long underwear, I had sweatpants over it.
Yeah.
Describe,
I'm staying warm, man.
Please
like
don't.
Under
I'm with
Armour
you.
Please
or-
don't
Gloves,
describe.
everything, man.
Please don't describe. Please don't describe.
I'm with
No,
you.
you know what long underwear is. You
Long
live in
johns.
the north, you know what long underwear is. It goes
Long
around your
johns.
ankle.
Oh, long johns. Okay.
Yeah, like
Long
leggings.
johns.
You mean
Okay.
leggings.
Yeah.
There's a difference
Yeah, you
between
can call 'em
leggings
for
and
ladies,
You call them
underwear.
leggings. Guys
Yeah.
call them long underwear.
No,
Yeah.
there's another version of
So
that.
you had on a onesie, is what you're saying?
No, he had on
No,
leggings.
just the pants.
He had on Under Armour
The long
leggings.
johns.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
almost
Just
wore them to
check.
work. Then I could have showed you them. But
No, thank you.
We would get
bro,
up.
it's literally like
Okay.
We
No,
would get up
it's
as
like,
I'll take your word.
Leon, especially with the Canes hitting the hardwood tonight against the Knolls. Basketball. You know how guys will sometimes wear those long pants underneath the shorts?
Yeah, the kind of.
those is
bro, it's
compression.
tight
the
fit.
drawers, but they
Tight.
go down to your ankles.
He's
Tight fit.
he's
Drawers,
referring. Yeah,
all that.
he's referring.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah,
referring to
yeah.
not the long
the
underwear.
girdles.
Yours.
The girdles.
Cor-
We called them girdles back in the day. Is that what you're saying? You wore
Yeah,
girdles?
I was going to say, I'm sure you wore them.
I'm asking you, do you
Like
you're
when
saying
we were-
you had on girdles?
Yeah, when we were-
Whatever you want to call it, man. It was keep me warm. I don't care.
we were kids, we would go to Gopher Ridge hunting camp. Gopher Ridge hunting camp, and those that are here in around Hastings and whatnot, the Parkers of the world, Loggeman probably knows exactly where Gopher Ridge is anyway.
Logman's worn long underwear, by the way.
Yes, and you would sleep in this, camp with a old building without any insulation or whatever. The only thing you had was that fireplace. Anyway, you'd sleep in your long johns, and that's basically what it was. No bathroom there. You had to go outside to go to the bathroom, and we had a great time. But I still have them tucked away, and the only time I've ever really that I can remember in recent history wearing long johns is when we're playing golf in the 40s or 50s.
Right.
But today I did think about it. So you were smart when you're out walking the dog. That's
So,
for sure. We're not used to this cold.
No.
For the sake of the argument,
Yeah.
I just Googled long john underwear.
Mhm.
And if you look at it, Leon, for me,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these look like leggings.
Yeah.
Or what
Yeah,
I would call
yeah.
Under
Yeah,
Armour.
So that's what mine looked like.
Right, the
Yeah, but
thermal. This looks a
thermal
little
underwear
bit
is
more
exactly
like
what it is.
underwear per se.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks
Thermal
a little
It's
underwear.
like Duluth Trading Company, man. It's
Yeah.
where all the hunters and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thermals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thermal
Girdle,
underwear.
girdle is
Thermals.
something completely
A
different.
girdle
Wow,
is
yeah, listen, I was-
compressing.
For
Girdle, bro.
females.
I'm just
Is that what you called it when you were
maybe
playing ball?
in my era? Yeah.
A
Maybe
girdle
Matt was
was
acting like a female.
turning a size 40 waist into a size 36
Exactly.
is what it was.
Exactly. It
Exactly.
had the slimming effect.
It was the male's version of
Girdle.
Spanx is what that was. All right, welcome in the Golf Club of Southampton. You can wear your long johns, your drawers, out to the Golf Club of Southampton. Enjoy that sunshine and the cold weather. 287 play. Get on out there. Before you know it, it'll be the 9 after 5. I don't think I've gone this long without wearing shorts in a while because it has been cold, and this is our version of winter, about 10 days, and we're pretty much done with it. But temperature dropped, that's for sure. All right, so you can head on out there, 287 play. Don't forget the great golf course setup that they always have for you, but then also Thursday night trivia and Friday night music under the stars right there on the patio with a great menu and always local artists being featured. Now, speaking of local, we're going to keep our eye on the defensive coordinator interview, so let's at least start there with your Jacksonville Jaguars, and then kind of keep it going as far as what's going to happen next with all these head coaching interviews. And I made the point yesterday, and I think it's a fair point, that you need to pay attention to and at least have some patience, because when Doug Peterson fired basically all of his staff on the defensive side, you're expecting him to strike quickly and go out and get ready to have that defensive staff in place. But if you're swinging for the fences and getting a big name to come in on the defensive side, and I'm going to use Leslie Frazier as an example, he's a guy that is in the rota being interviewed for possible head coaching openings. And so you're not going to be able to get him right away. He's going to have to wade through all those interviews before he's going to make a decision. He may be offered a job, he may not be, and then he'll be looking here.
Ditto to the Ajero Avero fans out there.
Exactly.
Same thing. He has to go through head coaching interviews before you could speak with him for a defensive coordinator position. Of note, just a few moments ago, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, following up on that report from Bruce Feldman that Ryan Nielsen is going to be allowed to interview for positions outside of Atlanta. Arthur Blank has lifted the ban
You love it.
in Atlanta for Nielsen and several other former assistant coaches of Arthur Smith. Fowler saying that there are multiple teams that want to speak with him for coordinator jobs. And that's where I think if you're the Jags, you're hoping that nobody tries to interview him for a head coaching job, because then that's going to slow up the process even more.
Yeah.
If he just has to make the rounds over the next week, interview for a couple different coordinator positions, a couple different places, like that's just good business. That's if you're on the open market and before you make a job decision, you have multiple people interested, you want to hear everybody out. That's just good business in general. But you hope as a Jaguars fan, number one, that at least he leaves here with a contract when he does interview, which I do know that Wink Martindale was here yesterday into today interviewing for that defense coordinator position. No word exactly on when Ryan Nielsen will interview, but you would hope the Jaguars make him an offer if he is one of their top guys. And, yeah, similar to Doug Peterson, you can let him talk to other places, but make him an offer he can't refuse, or at least make yourself the most appealing option in the process. And hope he doesn't get a head coaching interview at some point, because, I don't think you're going to be able to talk to Avero for probably another 2 weeks.
I would think so, yeah. Even though he was on a staff that is not playing in the postseason, he still is a guy that, is going to go through the cycle. And, heck, you start thinking about the Senior Bowl in a couple of weeks, and Leon, you know as well as I do, that's where a lot of those coaches will gather, and that's where you might be able to kind of close the door on a deal if you do decide to do something like that. That's where a lot of activity takes place. But I don't mind a little bit of a slow roll here.
You know what? I think if I was a general manager of the Jaguars, if I'm interviewing a defense coordinator, I'm asking him, how can you improve upon what we have already right now, what we've got built? What do we have right? You got two dynamic duos at the bookend position. All right, you got a middle linebacker who's averaging 100 tackles a game or whatever. You got Tyson. Season. You got Tyson Campbell, and then you got Cisco. And then I'm asking him, how can we get these guys better? Because right now they're the footprint of the defense right now. Yeah. Those are probably the more reliable guys on defense. All said and done, Tyson Campbell's got to stay healthy. Cisco's got to stay healthy. But Lua Khan, Josh Allen, and Trayvon Walker are staples, absolutely staples. What about your defense? What about your philosophy is going to make these guys better? Because these guys, like I said, that's a nice little triangle. What do we need to do to get better? And then like Matt was saying, that's why I'm referencing to this, because I was talking about personnel groupings and all that. No, what can you do for us right now? And then we'll make the necessary moves in free agency, in the draft, to improve upon it right now. Right. But what we have now, how can you make these guys better?
It's funny, Matt. Leon just named 5 key guys, and I don't think too many people would argue with those 5 guys. It did not include Devin Lloyd. Doesn't mean you won't add Devin Lloyd to that conversation. But anyway, you're talking about basically 50% or less than the starting 11 on the defensive side that you know you've got and you like. That means about 50% needs to be either turned over or improved upon.
So I here's the way you look at it, and I think we talked about this probably a couple weeks ago, is I think you got to look at this thing as what works right now. Okay, what on the defense that works? And Leon kind of explained what he thought worked. Then you get your guy in, whoever it is, whoever the DC is, and say, this is what works. The stuff around him also needs to work. That becomes his priority then, because you've got those guys that can work. You've got those guys that can play, that are guys that you can count on. If you have 7, think about that. If you have 6 guys on a defense that you can't count on, 6 guys?
Right, which is kind of where you're at right now.
That's a lot of guys on one unit that you can't count on.
Yeah.
So I think that's really what you say, all right, that's what we need to fix. Here's our plan going into free agency to fix that. What are your thoughts on this guy, whoever it is has got to be part of personnel decisions.
Mm-hmm.
At least has to have a say of, hey, man, I think this guy will work or that guy won't work or this guy could work. I know a guy who coaches this guy who says X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You can't just like throw guys at him and say, all right, make it work.
Totally agree. You've got to get more than one set of eyes, more than Balky's eyes needs to be on that improving that roster. Guys that you know can come in and fit your system.
Also, your assistants. Who is he bringing along?
Exactly.
I mean, because those are the guys as much as the defensive coordinator, like the offensive coordinator. I mean, when we had our offensive coordinator here in Jacksonville, we may have seen him, 30 minutes out of the day? Most of the time we're spending with our offensive line coach. We're watching film. We're breaking down this. We're breaking down that. We're on the field together. We're going through individual deal. We're going through all, walkthroughs and all that kind of stuff. So his assistants are going to be as important as he is as the D coordinator.
Yeah. JJ, do you have that music I asked for? Because honestly, we're going to talk a lot of Jaguar ball here. We're going to talk about the divisional playoff round. We do have some college stuff to get to, but I just want to play this just for 1 second. It's kind of soothing,
Yeah.
Just kind of get you
It feels like Christmas.
chilled just for a second. It's a great song, by the way. Well, Leon started humming it just a little bit earlier. At least I felt like I heard this song when he started humming.
I may have. This is probably one of my auntie's favorite songs.
And so we're playing a little Amazing Grace underneath this because what happened? Well, Auntie had some amazing cookies that she graced us with.
Well, yeah, she did. She absolutely.
Oh,
And
my
I'm gonna tell you
God.
how it came about. Christmas had come through, and she said, "Baby," she calls me baby, I forgot to send you those cookies for Christmas. I said, "Oh, Auntie, don't worry about that." She said, "No, baby, I promised you, the guys you work with, some cookies." She said, "I'm gonna bake them and I'm gonna send them next day."
Woman of her word.
Oh, woman of her word. And
Stands
she told
on
me,
business.
and then she told me the recipe that was behind the cookies that she made. The double chocolate chip walnut pecan cookies. And my auntie,
You're talking dirty to me, and I kind of like it.
Individually wrapped.
and you got to remember, my auntie was I can't say it, I don't know. Something
Aerospace
aeronautic.
engineer
Aerospace.
or something.
She was an aeronautic engineer at NASA in Martin Marietta. So everything she do is about precision and numbers.
Wow.
So she wrapped the cookies
She might have
individually.
starred in numbers, is what you're saying
Well,
to me
I
right
tell you
now.
what, she was influenced by them.
Yeah.
I think she was the next group that came in.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. That is
That's
a
awesome.
great
Yeah.
movie, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
yeah, that was my auntie Sarah in Orlando, Florida. That's why I was a fat kid. Because
Dude, they're so
That's why I
good.
was-
So now suddenly this thing has turned now.
Yeah.
Now it's gone from the happiness
Yeah.
of the cookies to that's why I was a fact.
That's
Oh,
why
it
I was
paid
fat.
It's almost like we're in a therapist's office right now. That's
I
why
am.
was a
I
fat
am
kid.
getting over myself.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it paid off as it turned
did,
into a
absolutely.
first-round pick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so individually wrapped
Yes.
chocolate, walnut,
and
Du-
with
double
bubble wrap
can.
in the box
Yeah,
so that
double.
nothing, happens
Right.
to the cookies on the
Yeah.
drive.
Double chocolate chip walnut pecan cookie.
Yeah, and that's not pecan, okay, people. That's pecan.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
they're massive.
Oh,
Yes.
my gosh. It just
Matt even had
So
to
I want to say
uh,
thank you to
take a
my
bite.
auntie Sarah
Yeah.
in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, Auntie's all of ours,
Oh,
okay? Even though it's Leon's legit, she's all of ours. So we love you. Thank you very much, which was just awesome. All right, so, that came perfectly wrapped for us today. So we're looking at this defensive coordinator position, trying to figure out what's going to be perfectly wrapped. But let's also talk about some of the other head coaching positions and who is going to be perfectly wrapped up to come in and take over. In Atlanta, as we talk about Nielsen, who's a candidate to come here to Jacksonville. He's part of that Atlanta staff, defensive coordinator under Arthur Smith. And so now, does Jim Harbaugh look at that Atlanta Falcons job? Does he become as attracted to that job as he would any of these other jobs?
Has he already been offered the job? Like,
Yeah.
that's for me. Like, the Ryan Nielsen news popping overnight, and from Bruce Feldman, who, at least over the past few years, has traditionally stayed more in the college
Yeah,
football
exactly.
lane. This says to me that interview with Jim Harbaugh went exceedingly well yesterday with Arthur Blank and the Falcons top brass. Feldman may know something. Or between a positive interview with Bill Belichick and a positive interview with Jim Harbaugh, both defensive guys, Arthur Blank came away from it saying, whichever one I pick, they're going to go and hire their own guys. So let me free these assistants from the constraints.
Yeah, that does make sense.
And
honestly.
that's a very huge
More than-
development, by the way, because we know Harbaugh interviewed with the Chargers. We've heard all the rumors. We've seen Jimmy Shapiro's lines for Bill Belichick to become the next Cowboys or Eagles coach. We understand that speculation. But this is the first tangible domino read between the lines that I have seen that suggests that one or both of them will be coaching somewhere else in the National Football League.
And Matt, you mentioned what was the dollar figure that Harbaugh would be looking at if he
$11.5 million annually.
Yeah, 11.5 if he stayed at Michigan. If he stayed with the Maize and Blue, and I don't know what the number would be coming into coming back to the NFL world, but it would be a double-digit figure. I would think it would be right around there.
The NFL?
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be more than that.
Yeah, I don't know whether it'd be more than that, but it'd be right around there.
I bet it'd be closer to 15, actually.
Yeah. That seems a little rich right now.
Maybe
for Jimmy.
But he's in high demand.
I know.
Yeah,
Strike while the iron's hot,
Matt,
baby.
could you see a world where Michigan is the Georgia of the North, where they just dominate football for the next half a decade? I mean, with the recruits they get, and with him coming off a national championship, could you see them being a team that could be 2-3 natties within the next 5 years? I mean, because they own Ohio State.
They do. The only problem is he's not really an elite recruiter. I mean, their average recruiting rank over the last 4 years was 18. 18, bro. So I mean, he's just coached up a lot of guys who were committed, invested in what he was doing, and he got a hot quarterback. And the way they went, man.
Well, I mean, that makes this national championship even more impressive. If you got an 18th class recruiting class and he's winning, he's not winning with all
Georgia
4 or 5
lost to
stars.
Alabama. That helped too.
Well, yeah, that part too. You're right.
But I would think if he recruits off the natty, 18 turns into 8. I don't know.
He's not one of those guys that begs.
Yeah.
He's not a guy that's going to beg a player to come there.
He had a sleeper with a kicker.
I understand that, but he's not.
Alaska
It's
and
not who he
Australia.
is, man. He's not that. He's not the recruiter Kirby is. He's not the recruiter Nick is. He's not the recruiter, heck, that Dabo is. That's not who he is. So I don't know. Your question, the long answer to your question is, I don't think he would cobble together 2 or 3 more titles, or even 1 or 2 more titles. I think it was difficult 9 years, or 7 years, I should say, for him to get there to get this one.
Yeah. So
Maybe he thinks he ceilinged out. He hit the ceiling here. This is the best I can do.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna-
very well
I think
could
it's.
be.
I think it's. He's an alum.
Job
He
done.
brought.
there you
He
go.
brought a national
Job
championship
finished.
to his university, and now it's time to go. And now it's time to get the last professional mountain that he's yet to climb.
How
and
old
that's
is
the Super
Jim?
Bowl.
Jim's what, 57?
Yeah, at least.
58?
I think yeah.
yeah, he's got to be right there in that neighborhood.
60.
Good for him, honestly.
It's so
go
funny.
climb the last mountain.
Yeah, but it is funny when the talking heads, the national ones, say what more does he have to do? Well, what more did Nick or Kirby or any of these guys have to do? Keep doing it. Coach for even more historical, spots in history as far as how we look at college football and the greatness. Yeah, he could move on to the NFL and then go accomplish that one thing he hasn't done yet, which is win the Super Bowl. He's already coached a team to the Super Bowl. But, heck, if he stays at Michigan, it becomes the winningest coach of all time up there in Michigan.
Well, he's got 2 NCAA investigations on him right now.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know that.
And coaching in college football, and I know you and I disagree on this, is way harder than coaching the NFL.
Yeah.
With all the stuff you got to deal with. The stress is
there's
ridiculous.
there is a lot that you have to deal with. That's for sure. And both have different versions of what will eat you alive. That's for sure. But my only point is that he can coach and be a legend on either one of those stages. And I actually believe it would be easier to be a coaching legend at Michigan than it would be in the National Football League. That's just
Really?
Yeah, it's just my thought.
You think if he took just the Falcons and brought them and they won the Super Bowl, that would make him a coaching legend?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying legend.
He's already a legend
Yeah.
at Michigan.
Yeah, I think but I'm saying over time, winning more than one. Okay, is Lloyd Carr a legend up in Michigan?
No.
Okay, how many
No,
natties
I would
did
think so, he
Yeah, how many
is.
natties
in
did
Michigan
he win?
he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in Michigan
Yeah,
he
exactly.
is. Yeah, in Michigan he
Yeah,
is.
they won 3 of 4.
Right,
It
but
was-
you're talking about how many
or
guys
not-
have won?
not 3
how
or
many
4.
coaches
They've
have won a
in the
national
90s.
title and a Super Bowl?
Mhm.
How many coaches have done that?
Oh,
Two,
very
right?
few.
Pete Carroll, Jimmy
Carroll and
Johnson.
Jimmy.
Jimmy
very,
Johnson.
very few. And so
That's it.
Switzer, right?
Switzer.
Switzer.
Yeah, Switzer.
He doesn't
Switzer.
count.
Yeah.
He was
He
given
does
that. He was
count. They
given
beat
that.
Hey, he did it.
He was given that championship.
He did.
Yes,
Coach
yes,
Coach
yes.
Campo is part of that staff. The only time he was the D coordinator of a Super Bowl winning
good
team.
point.
So he definitely will take that and say,
I'm not
hey,
taking a shot at Dave.
yeah, you can't take that away from Barry.
Switzer,
but
that's all.
but I guess the point is that Nick became a legend by winning and winning and winning and winning. Now, when he walked away, whenever he decided to walk away, if he had one or two, would he have been considered a legend like he is now? That's my only point.
Well,
Kirby
now he's
walks
considered
away.
now he's considered the greatest coach in football,
Yeah.
NFL or college.
Yeah.
If he has two national championships, he'd just be considered a legend in Alabama.
Yeah,
The greatest coach in NFL? No, I don't know
think
about
he
that.
is.
I don't know about
I
Belichick.
actually think he's the greatest
I think
coach
for
in
every
any
two,
sport.
I think for every two natties, that's a Super Bowl.
Yeah, because Bill Belichick is a greater coach.
I'm just saying, Super Bowl wins is a lot more prevalent than
What's your
the
boy done
championship.
without Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Who? Well, listen. Hey,
But he had him.
you had him.
And-
He
and
can't
they
help
won.
who you get. Hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he was thinking. I'm sure when he drafted him in the 6th round, he was like, "Oh yeah, he's going to take me to the promised land." Yeah, that part. Had to develop him.
Yeah, Bill
did-
Walsh.
That was literally a camp arm, is what that was.
Huh?
6th round pick of a quarterback.
Of
It's a
course he
camp arm.
was.
That's a camp arm.
Yeah, but when you're
And he
Tom,
goes in there and he says, "Oh, he's a little bit more than a camp arm. We might keep him."
But here's
And
the
he
thing:
made
when
it.
you're Tom Brady and you go to the owner and said, "Draft me is the best decision you ever made in this franchise." That's what they say. Tom Brady told the owner his first year and with the Patriots. Drafting me was the best decision you ever did for this franchise.
Yeah.
Was he wrong?
Yeah. No,
How
he was
many
not.
other
No, but how many other
sixth-round picks
players have said that?
probably
Right,
said
right,
but
JJ,
I'm
exactly.
just
How many
saying,
other guys
the
don't know
that
moxie
you
behind
don't
it.
hear about?
How many other
The-
guys have gone to
I'm
the owner and
just saying,
say
you got Drew
it's the best
Brees.
decision you ever made?
I'm
They were
saying
cut
you
a
got
month
Drew
later.
Brees in front of you, and you're a 6th-round pick, and you go to the owner and you say,
Nobody
that.
can hear when both are saying. Say it again, Matt.
I said, how many other guys have said this to the owner, and a month in they're cut? It happens all the time.
Shad Khan, he's like, Chason came to me after we drafted him and told me, I'm going to be the greatest defensive end of all time.
Yeah, there are only a few of them that get it right. That's for sure. And boy, did Caleb waste time here with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, that resume, that epitaph for his Jacksonville Jaguar career. Holy smokes! All
You
right,
imagine Chase not going into shot.
yeah.
Best
Oh.
pick you ever made, man.
All right, 641-1010. We'll stay on this theme because we at least want to get into what's happening in the transfer portal and recruiting world and what might not be happening now that Kalen DeBoer has come to Tuscaloosa, because there are guys that are defecting out of that basically that tied either portal or recruiting class, because you have 30 days after your coach steps away to step away from the university, either decommit or move on without any penalty, especially if you're moving on. And we're going to find out whether this guy can hold a class together.
Yeah, in case you missed it, the biggest news of those dominoes to fall in Tuscaloosa, Caleb Downs, the highly touted first-team all-freshman, believe he's going to get some All-American overall honors as well, Matt. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
And also, he was a guy who, when Nick Saban spoke to Reese Davis last week, just hours after announcing his retirement, he said that was one of the leaders who came to him and was so emotional about his departure. He was so critical to the development of this team over the past 8 months, this particular group of guys. And now he's out. He's out. He says he's hitting the portal. Maybe that means he just wants to test the waters before returning to Alabama and Kalen DeBoer, but it's fascinating,
he's
especially Matt, because Jabbar Muhammad, the star corner for Washington, already came out and said, yeah, Kalen wants me to follow him to Alabama.
Yeah, he's not the look. Caleb Downs is not the first, will not be the last. There will be many other players that leave Alabama.
Yeah, so let's
It's
get
going,
into that.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It happens every time a new coach gets there. You're talking about a drastic change from a guy of Nick Saban's stature to now a new coach.
Yeah.
And that's like these guys went there because of Caleb Downs. Nick Saban's a defensive backs coach. He's been a defensive backs coach all his life. Caleb Downs went there for that specific reason.
Specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into that, and we'll stay on the Jaguars. We'll look at the divisional round, the best 8 teams right now as far as the playoffs are concerned. We're going to rank them as we go through XL Primetime today. Thanks for hanging out with us. You can check us out on YouTube, 1010XL. All you got to do is search us and check it out right there as we stream live.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Hello, you're on the air.
There's more to 1010XL than radio.
1010XL is multimedia. All communication lines are clear.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Find 1010XL on your social channels.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. You can't control the weather, but at Fenwick Home Services, we make sure your home is comfortable all season long. Whether it's time for a tune-up, a repair, or a system upgrade, our expert technicians will guide you to a custom comfort solution that gives you peace of mind. We are always available with same-day, 24/7 service And to get you through the rest of the season, we are offering $50 off any repair. Plus, get comfort on your terms with flexible finance options. Your comfort is our priority. Schedule your visit online at fenwickhomeservices.com/radio.
Brackish Vodka, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the smoothest local vodka you can find. Made right here in Jacksonville, Florida, 100% from corn, Brackish Vodka is the local gluten-free choice. Brackish Vodka, for those that live life slightly salty, a proud partner of the Jaguars. Enjoy Brackish Vodka at Island Girls Cigar Bar in Ponte Vedra with blackjack on the rocks, Thursdays and Sundays.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Hey folks, Hicken here. Now that your kids and grandkids have gone home and the decorations are coming down, I bet you can see it's time to get those carpets and sofas cleaned. I'm telling you, give Zero Res a try if you haven't already. They clean the carpets, the sofa, the chairs, the area rugs, and even the tile and grout. Google them. More than 5,000 five-star customer reviews. And right now, 20% off carpet cleanings, 20% off upholstery. Zero Res. You spell it forward, you spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. If you're hungry for more Jags, grab a big bite with Big Bo.
A meal and sparkling conversation.
Tony Baselli joins Dan and Jeff Monday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Mr. Roeder Plumbing of Jacksonville.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beards Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years.
Check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
It's Mike Dempsey. Instead of trying another diet or lose weight quick fad this January, why don't you succeed this year with Awaken 180? Proven, easy to follow weekly weight loss, and then receive free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
The big game is in the near future, and Sonny's Barbecue is here to help. For your chance to win a barbecue feast for the big game, text Sonny's to 641-1010. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmaster since '68.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Were you forced into a nosebleed mortgage rate in this past year? Loan Pronto is here to rescue you. Hey, it's Prosser. Listen, If your mortgage rate is over 7, you're going to be in heaven with Loan Pronto's zero-cost refi. You can cut your house payment by hundreds of dollars and even do it with zero closing costs and no appraisal. Rates have plummeted to the lowest point in nearly 12 months, and it's time to say goodbye to that bad loan you got stuck with. Loan Pronto's got APRs with fixed rates in the 5s. So don't live with that record high a day longer. You can lock in a lower rate now with virtually no paperwork or cost involved. Call now and see how much lower you can get your house payment. Refi now, and you can even skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call for a free 30-second quote, 904-999-1508. At loanpronto.com, you can find out more. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
According to multiple national reports, Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen is expected to interview with the Jaguars for their open defensive coordinator job. Nielsen made a big impact in his first season in Atlanta, improving the Falcons from 26th to 7th in yards per play allowed. The Falcons' defense under Nielsen also went from 31st in the NFL to 3rd in third down defense. The Atlanta defense also went from 25th to 8th in pass defense. The Falcons blocked the Jaguars' initial request to speak with Nielsen, but he will now interview for the Jags DC job. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
On the heels of the news that Ryan Nielsen, the Atlanta Falcons DC, will interview for the Jaguars DC vacancy, Marco Emanuel, the Jets safeties coach, has finalized his interview with the Jags. He will interview tomorrow. He, of course, was the Falcons DC as well, ironically, once upon a time, and was also part of Doug Peterson's defensive staff in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and when you go back to 2020 when he was there for 1 year, it was not a great year. We all know that. It was a dreadful year. I think it was a 4-12 season, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, he does have ties to Doug, and Doug knows him. And then he came into Atlanta after, as the DC, after they had that fail to Tom Brady and company when they lost a 28-3 lead with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
I did love all the memes
Torturous.
that came out of Bill Belichick interviewing with the Falcons this week, of Arthur Blank asking Bill Belichick, explain to me or tell me about a time that you overcame a deficit or adversity.
Well, there was that Super Bowl.
28-3.
Who were we playing? Oh, yeah.
Remember when you came down on the field to celebrate a little too early, Arthur?
Exactly.
Never forget.
Yeah, remember when Kyle Shanahan kept calling passing plays and Matt Ryan said, okay, we can do this?
He learned his lesson, though. That's the biggest thing. And now he's out here running the ball with Christian McCaffrey, and the Niners, many believe, now have as clear a path to the Super Bowl as any team has in recent memory. Let us merge between the NFL and the college football ranks before we dive into the Alabama situation. A saucy nug for you all.
Mm-hmm.
A bet you, if you may. Can you list for me the schools that have the most representation, the colleges that are most represented in the NFL divisional round?
All right, I'm going to immediately guess Iowa as one of them.
Iowa is indeed one of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Gators in there. I know that.
Yeah. Gators actually, if you can believe it.
Might be at the top.
The Gators have 15 players playing in the divisional round, the most of any school.
Are these starters or are they just on the sideline?
They're on the roster.
We could be sideline guys, okay?
Okay.
But listen, 5 years from now, that stat will not exist. But right
It
now,
includes the punter.
yeah, take advantage
Tommy
of it.
Townsend
The Townsend.
forever.
Yeah, the Townsend effect. But
yet they haven't won an SEC since 2008.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
What about Georgia's got
Yeah, you keep the music going, JJ.
Oh.
no,
Georgia?
we got a couple more. So Georgia, yep. So that's the top 3.
Ohio State.
15 for Florida, 14 for Georgia, 14 for Iowa.
Wow, we are 3 for 3.
The Gators have more?
We're 3 for 3. Yep.
Buckeyes.
Ohio State is
Yeah,
also there.
Buckeyes, yeah.
11. So there's 3 schools that are in between those 3. And
LSU.
LSU, yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, all right, hang on.
Clemson.
Nope.
That is kicked out.
Penn State.
Penn State is 4th. They have
Darn it.
13.
Nice.
I did not have the courage.
USC?
Nope.
Texas.
Nope.
Oklahoma.
Nope.
Okay.
Solid strategy.
This is going to be a rare one.
UCF.
Southern Miss.
It's going to be somebody like Wake Forest. I
No,
guess.
it's 3 blue bloods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The program.
SC.
the
Well
bluest
done.
of blood,
Well done,
Kentucky.
SC.
No USC. Leon already
Did
guessed.
anyone say Alabama?
Thank you, JJ. They have
I thought
12.
we said them. Oh, okay.
Okay.
We just forgot about now.
Yeah, I
Saban's
thought
gone.
we named
Yeah,
Alabama.
they're dead.
Rome is burning, so we just let it ride.
2 more.
We have Gus Edwards. We have Jordan. I'm trying to think of the Hurricanes.
Oregon?
Nope.
Oregon's not a blue blood.
All right. No.
Thank you for saying that, Matt.
Well, they're on CBS now. So, well, no,
That's true.
Yeah.
They stole that music. Florida State?
Nope.
Yeah, because they kicked out
No
quite a
Clemson?
few for a while.
Nope. No Clemson.
I don't know. Let's hear it. Who is it?
Who is it?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. There you go, Matt. At the
nice.
buzzer with 12 and tying Ohio State with 11 players playing in the divisional round. Michigan.
Okay. Michigan, I guess you definitely have some guys on the defensive side that have come out, the Aiden Hutchinsons of the world that are still playing on. All right, that's a good one. We got some more saucies and whatnot that we're going to basically keep looking at the entire 8 and all the storylines similar to that. Let's do that real quick, though.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A perfect segue as another Alabama starter has defected from Tuscaloosa. Left tackle, Caden Proctor, started as a true freshman for Nick Saban. Plans to enter the transfer portal, according to On3 Sports.
Iowa! Yeah, if you name because he was the
He's
first.
from Des Moines.
Right, he was the first 5-star ever, right? That came out
He
of
was
there?
committed to Iowa
first since
forever.
AJ Epineza.
Yeah.
He was committed to Iowa forever.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
late
maybe that's
with
what
Alabama.
it was.
Yeah, no. So his best friend, Xavier Nwankpa, who's the star safety for Iowa, he was a 5-star as well.
Okay.
And so they were going to be a package deal, and then the week before signing day, Saban
Boom.
swooped in.
Yeah, Bama.
What
Bama.
did Alabama think was going to happen when they hired
course.
this nobody?
Yeah.
Bro,
Well, it's
they
not
could have hired anybody and it would have
No
happened.
way!
Dude,
I
it's-
refuse to believe that.
Okay,
Come
no,
on.
you got to do the
If they hired like Lane or Dabo,
Lane
or like
would have lost
somebody
guys too.
legit,
So would
what?
Dabo.
Not
No.
like this.
No,
This
but listen,
is
yeah,
like
yeah,
everybody.
You got to do the football math. It's who you get and who you just said goodbye to. And the goodbye to Nick is as meaningful as anything. But I agree with what JJ's saying. If you replace him with a Southern guy,
someone who's done it for multiple years, like everybody knows him. He's
and
a
guy
good
that
recruiter.
a guy that you instantly think can get in step with what Nick was doing, not necessarily become Nick, but get in step with what he was doing. And Dabo and Lane would fit that description much more than Kalen DeBoer.
Or Norvell or whatever.
Yeah, any of the guys that we know have succeeded in the South and have hoisted trophies, that's for sure, in the South. But yeah, when Nick walks away, you know there was going to be some damage in the recruiting. And
Well, not only that, we also all think that he could have gotten Norvell, or he could have gotten Dabo, or he could have gotten Sarkisian, or he could have gotten Lanning. Maybe they all told him no.
Yeah, very, very, very possible. But the only point is, at least the way I'm seeing it, is that when you have a guy that hasn't done it consistently over time and in these parts, you are going to lose some recruits. And Nick had a battery of talent either through the portal or in the recruiting class for 2024 that was among the best in the country. He was number 2 to Georgia, right? If you go back and look at the recruiting rankings. And so you can't – when the GOAT walks away, Leon, you're going to lose. You're going to have some others walk away.
Here's the thing I was thinking. I was thinking about the transition from when Bobby hired Jimbo, because Jimbo was on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a legend like Bobby Bowden, when he had finally stepped down, he had somebody already in place. Well, how long was Jimbo? How many years was Jimbo in the league? At least 4 or 5
maybe
years.
6.
I mean, I'm just thinking that maybe this thing should have been well thought of before it just went.
It seems like they got it done in like a day.
Well, look at Belichick. Okay, Belichick in Mayo. Okay,
Gerard
Mayo. This thing should have happened like 3 or 4 years ago, but you had a guy in place. I mean, it's different from college football than professionally, but I'm saying, but there's a guy in place, there's a guy in training. So when Belichick says, "Okay, I'm out of here," he's the next guy in line. I'm thinking that maybe with Nick, maybe 4 or 5 years out, maybe 3 years out, he could have had a guy in place. Somebody, I'm just saying.
Those guys go get hired. That guy,
that's true.
That's
true. Those guys get hired.
Like they thought maybe Sark might be that guy.
Yeah.
Going back, 3 years ago, maybe?
3 years ago, yeah.
And then Texas said, "We love the look of that guy. Let him come over."
Because
and coach
those schools were snatching his assistants away.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah. All right, so let's throw out the X poll since it is on the Bama conversation.
Question of the day brought to you by Beaver Toyota of St. Augustine. Where do you see Alabama football in 3 years? Still at or close to the top, middle of the pack in the SEC, and the last one is disaster, DeBoer fired. And so it's neck and neck right now between still close to the top or middle of the pack in the SEC. Someone said still a powerhouse, but not a Nick Saban powerhouse. In the 12-team playoff every year for the next 3.
That's curious, and that is fascinating because obviously the advent of the 12-team playoff would give Kalen DeBoer a little bit longer of a leash. If this was still a 4-team playoff, there's no question about it. I don't think they're competing, at least initially. My bigger question is, do both Caleb Downs and Caden Proctor go to Georgia? And do the rich just continue to get richer?
And what's up with Milroe?
But exactly. What happens with him? What does DeBoer think he can do with Milroe?
First off, you only have so much money for Georgia. How are you paying these guys?
Right.
No, he hasn't gone to Georgia yet.
Yeah,
no, funny. I know, but I'm saying like if you're getting all these, and they're getting some big time ads from the portal, and they're paying high school guys coming in.
Yeah, look, there's one guy that's listed. He goes, I love the way it's being broken down now. They're listing cats as at $1 million value right now that are coming in either into the portal or decommitting from them. I love this. Caleb Downs enters transfer portal. Question: who could land Alabama's star defensive back and why he's a quote $1 million+ NIL player? I mean, that's how they're being viewed now.
Yes.
It has a price tag on it. This ain't Dollar General.
Especially for a guy like Caleb Downs, who might be the best defensive back in the nation.
Yeah.
So he's going to command that high salary. Trevor Etienne is going to command a high salary. Yeah.
All right, so go on X at 1010XL and give us your vote and then reply and give us some thoughts as far as can they hang on. Because it's not a huge roll of the dice, but it's a pretty big roll of the dice by Byrne, the athletics director, that he was going to step outside of the region. Now, Kalen DeBoer's established himself pretty dang quickly as a guy who can draw up some pretty good offense. The thing that struck me between Dan Lanning, let's make this the 10-10 take, JJ, because honestly, you're trying to find a guy that hasn't done it in the SEC, but they think might.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
Sonny's across the first coast. They've got wood fired up early. They're putting those racks of ribs, those chickens, on it and smoking it slow, roasting up that turkey, brisket, and pulled pork, whatever it might be. Check out any one of your area Sonny's, especially when you're getting ready for the big game, because we got that big game giveaway, so be listening for that. So when you think about stepping outside of the region, and I would have thought, and I think most of us here would have thought, Dan Lanning made the most sense. If you were going to pluck a coach from the Pac-12, it would be a guy who had cut his teeth in the SEC. Well, Lanning said no. Phil Knight said, hey, we're going to give you whatever you want, and he stays up there at Oregon. So surprisingly, they go and get Kalen DeBoer. But you ask yourself, the thing that struck me with both of these guys is that they built the lines of scrimmage, and they also could coach up the offense that I think players like playing in and fans like to see in today's college football world. So the 10-10 take, Leon, is basically that looks a little more like the SEC. They did okay on defense, not great, but can that high-powered offense succeed in the SEC because he built the lines of scrimmage and he had dynamic play.
That's the only way you're going to survive against SEC teams is because you know they're built from the inside out. You know they're going to have punishing defense. You're going to have an offensive line that can run the ball and protect.
Yeah.
And if you build your team around a blueprint which has been successful, the SEC has been there's been college football dominance over the last, 2.5 decades or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the only way you're going to compete. You got to get athletes. You got to get star athletes that can compete against guys like that. Or you got to go in the South and get those athletes and bring them to wherever you need to go.
Yeah. Now, the other part of this, Matt, is that as good as that offensive line was in the Pac-12 against, let's just say, Pac-12 defenses, which aren't, you don't necessarily look at them and say, hey, that's how you play D in the college football world. But you take that offensive line against Michigan's defensive front and take a look at what Jimmy Harbaugh did. He drew it up against them and applied a lot of pressure to Michael Penix. Can he do that in the SEC? Can he get a good enough front?
It's just getting dudes.
Yeah.
Because their average rank over the last 4 years was like 24.
Yeah, in the
recruiting
ranking.
rank. Yeah.
Recruiting ranking.
Yeah, so I mean, Michigan's is 18, theirs is 24. It was an anomaly this year, these two teams in the national title game.
Mm-hmm.
As far as typically, you have to have like a top 5 average recruiting class to get to the national championship game.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's played out over and over and over, other than, of course, TCU 2 years ago. But so I just go back to this, man. I think we're panicking way too early.
Mm-hmm.
Way too early. These are guys that went to Alabama because of Saban. They wanted to be coached by Saban, and now they're leaving.
To be clear, we're not panicking. We're celebrating. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's true too, and I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. I don't think it has anything to do with they see Kalen DeBoer, they heard his speech, and they think, oh my God, this place is going downhill. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's Caden Proctor left Iowa, which is his home state, right? Mm-hmm. He was committed to them all along.
2 years.
The guy he left Iowa for, is now gone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked in the least if he goes back to Iowa.
He might.
But doesn't that prove that the whole the program's going to recruit itself was all fraudulent from the beginning?
Man.
No, it's the coach.
That's when Saban stepped down.
All you had
the
to do
next
was look
day,
prior to
all I
Saban.
heard was, "Oh, that program will recruit itself," and I'm like, "Well, it didn't when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Like
who?
it was trash."
Where'd you hear that from?
Oh my God, come on, dude, that
Yeah.
was everywhere.
One
I
thing-
can't give you like a specific guy, but I heard
You're listening
that.
to the wrong people, bro.
I heard that specific
Just listen
statement
to
all
1010
over
XL
TV.
12 to
You're
3,
right.
okay?
You're right.
All right. So one thing that can happen, which is pretty obvious, is that it can stay that way if they hire the right guy. And if they don't, then obviously it will tumble. And we have seen the evidence of that. You can go, like as an example, Kirby Smart goes to Georgia, and it didn't just stay on that level. It went up a level. LSU says goodbye to Ed Orgeron. Brian Kelly shows up, and it stays at that level. Not championship level just yet. But anyway, other ones, if you hire the wrong guy.
Wait a second. Eddie O didn't stay
Billy
at
Napier. If you hire the wrong guy, it can fall in a heartbeat.
Eddie O didn't stay at that level.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I mean that's for anyone to think that it's going to stay at the level of Saban is ridiculous.
It's very, very hard to do that.
It's just, you're just not going to get a guy that's going to do what he did. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So let us run through all of the players who have transferred to Alabama, or transferred out, of Alabama, 8 of whom have come since Nick Saban's decision 1 week ago on January the 10th. Tyler Buckner, as we know, is headed to Notre Dame, not to play football, but to play lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
Ja'Cory Brooks, Louisville.
He left before the playoff.
These all left.
began.
Yep. These are some that left before the playoff began. We'll get to. You want to just do the ones that left in the last? Because at this point.
Yeah, the ones that are gone because Nick's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Isaiah Bond, Texas. Roydell Williams, Florida State. Shaz Preston, Tulane. Sean Murphy, Florida State. Kendrick Blackshire, Texas. Des Ricks, Texas A&M. Ian Jackson, Antonio Kite, Amari Nyblack, and Trey Amos, and of course Downs and Proctor remain uncommitted at this time.
Okay, so there's 4 guys in that list that are important guys. The other guys are young guys or guys that never got on the field for them. Nyblack's a big-time player. I don't know where he's going to go. He probably going to end up going to Texas. A big-time player.
Which would make 3 of
Right.
the defections since Nick Saban's retirement headed to Steve Sarkisian.
To Texas, right. Caden Proctor obviously has potential to be a very good player. Caleb Downs is one of the best players in the country right now. And the 4th was Bond, right. Bond, who became a close to elite player this year.
Mm-hmm.
And at least the last month of the season was had really become a guy that was their number 1 receiver.
Yeah, if you're on the receiving end of 4th and Milrow, you instantly become
Right, but the rest of honestly, the rest of those guys are guys that are either backups for the last couple of years or redshirt freshmen that didn't play this year and redshirted.
Yeah. The other part of it is Proctor was a question mark for the first half of the year.
Yep.
Okay, let's not forget that.
Everybody who thinks that he's just going to be a plug and play, he struggled at times.
Yeah,
like there were a lot of Iowa fans that when they were undefeated were like, I'm kind of glad we didn't get him because he's got some issues.
Yeah, and he improved, but they still have to make sure whoever gets him.
He
obviously.
struggled in that Michigan game, boy.
Yeah, so it's not like.
And so is he really going to think he's going to go back to the Big Ten and it's going to be easier?
Yeah.
No,
so,
that would
Probably
my
not.
guess is that's probably where he goes.
Yeah. All right. So we'll definitely stay on that
the heel
subject.
of the news that the offense coordinator search is still ongoing. However, Seth Wallace has been upgraded to assistant head coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, the same guy that was indicted in the same Ferentz and he who must not be named strength and conditioning coach accusations. Yeah, he's now the assistant head coach. Lots of fun up there. That is your Big Ten update of the day. We will roll on with more XL Primetime coming up in the 1 o'clock hour right here on a Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Get ready to save the world.
Saving the world with sports talk. Well, maybe not the world. Saving Jacksonville with sports talk. 1010XL.
Save big at Key Buick GMC with up to $10,000 off on all new Buick Enclaves or up to $9,000 off new Buick Envisions. Receive really low APR rates like 1.9% APR financing for 36 months, 4.5% for 48 months, or 60 months, 5.4% for up to 72 months. Come on in now to Key Buick GMC and enjoy no payments on the Buicks for 90 days. That's 3 months. Key Buick GMC on the corner of Southside and Gate, KeyBuickGMC.com.
Tired of dealing with clogged drains? What about those bad smells coming from your pipes? No matter how big or small your home or commercial project may be, my friends at Duck Duck Rooter can handle it. Contact them today for all your plumbing, septic, and air conditioning needs at 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769. And while I have your attention, Duck Duck Rooter is hiring plumbers. They offer excellent weekly pay, health insurance, paid holidays, 401k, and more. Apply now at duckduckrooter.com and they'll call you for an interview.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? Frustrated taking pills that don't work? Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Come buy a boat at the Jacksonville Boat Show, January 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. See the latest models, browse accessories, and much more. Presented by ViStar Credit Union. Tickets at boatjacks.com. Buy a boat.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. It's getting chilly outside, but you can enjoy the outside inside with a new glass lanai from Lifetime Enclosures, or look ahead and get that backyard ready for spring with a new screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If golf is your thing, you'll want to check out the 2024 Hills Pass at Hidden Hills Golf Club. Unlimited golf, including golf car and preferred tee times for just one low price. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to purchase your Hills Pass today.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Visionaries, builders, and doers. Are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
I knew how to change my driver's license. Now, so before I even walked in there, I was like, oh God, this line is gonna be really long. They're gonna be mean. And then you wait for 9 hours and they're like, "Here, what do you want, license? Wrong line! Get to the end of the next line!"
Tim Brewer, The Survival with Laughter Tour, May 12th, 7 p.m., Florida Theater. Tickets on sale now at floridatheater.com or 904-355-2787.
Hey, Scarline here. Tired of missing out on the conversation due to hearing loss? At Jacksonville Hearing and Balance, their team of audiologists led by Dr. Douglas Green can help you rediscover the joy of connection. Visit jhbi.org today.
Prosser here. Have you tried selling your home and it just wouldn't go? Have you thought about selling your home but thought the problems were too much? Let me give you your solution. It's chadandsandy.com. How's this for a promise? All right? This is a promise. Your home sold, guaranteed, or they will buy it. Chad and Sandy have the solution for your problems. In fact, they have the promises. So don't worry about required costly repairs. Nope. Pick your move date. Yes, you can. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. So many satisfied customers out there. How about Lee and Shelley in Deerwood? We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called because we needed a miracle. We had to move my mom to assisted living and needed money ASAP to pay for it, but Mom's Condo Association was under litigation, which limited the sale to cash buyers only. Chad and Sandy went to work. They had our money 15 days later. Truly a miracle. Call the agents we trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. The Yulee Bulldozer, Derrick Henry, will be an unrestricted free agent in March at the age of 32. Henry was a guest of the Bussin' with the Boys podcast and shared some insight on his NFL future.
You know, it's a business, and at the end of the day, the Tennessee Titans going to look out for what's best for the Tennessee Titans. You know, everything got an expiration date. It's just some are more sooner than others. So, you know, I'll always be a Titan, even if I don't come back. But at the end of the day, you know, I want to win the Super Bowl. Wherever that is, that gives me the best chance, and that's what I want to do.
The Yulee Bulldozer, Derrick Henry, on his NFL future. It's 43 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
1 o'clock hours here at XL Primetime. Joe C., Mia O'Brien, Maddie Hayes. We are the Sausage Dudes. That is Leon Cersei and JJ cranking it out. We roll into this 1 o'clock hour talking about the divisional round of the NFL playoffs and spending a lot of time in the first hour on Alabama and whether Kalen DeBoer can even come close to the standard that is Saban football up at Alabama. We got our X poll out on that subject. So you can definitely check it out at 1010XL on X. And then we definitely have been on the Jaguars so far with the idea that they're going to bring multiple guys in, including Ryan Nielsen, the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, who was part of that staff that was let go under Arthur Smith by Arthur Blank. And then also now Marquand Manuel, who is coaching secondary, or is it just safety? Secondary? Secondary up in New York under Robert Saleh, and is also a former D coordinator. Coach has got a little intel on Nielsen that we'll throw out a little bit later on. Our Coach Campo, we definitely will get into that as we go along today. I got a kick out of this one thing, though, and Mia makes most of the press conferences, like the embedded and shredded one does, Hayes, Carline for 1010XL. But how about the reporter that asked Todd Bowles how he was going to prepare for the cold up in Detroit? We need to pull that soundbite, JJ, because
What? Is that real?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it this morning. Yes.
Yeah.
The weather has been a factor in some of the playoff games, even for the most prepared teams. Today, it's 13 in Detroit, which doesn't compare to some of the temperatures we tend to drop to. Any special plans to acclimate the team to not only endure but perform in those kind of frigid temperatures should you face them in Detroit?
You do know we play indoors, right? And they got a dome. No, nothing planned. We're indoors, and we only have to be outside for 20 seconds getting off the bus, going under the thing, so we'll be okay.
I would just echo what Peter Schrager of Good Morning Football just tweeted out as my official response, which is, this is more of a statement on the economics of local TV news. I'm certain this reporter wasn't the dedicated sports reporter, but one of many hardworking local news folks being asked to cover everything now. I can tell you it happens more than you think.
Well, the first thing I did think of, news department as opposed to sports department.
Like they're in the second round now.
Yeah.
So
now we got to do something
headline
Tampa.
news, on TV 47 or whatever.
Let's do human interest.
Yes.
Let's do
it's
something.
cold out there.
I mean, I said it.
Harry, are you guys going to be okay?
I said it on a call-in with local South Florida radio this morning. I said to them, I was like, look, I've worked in local news for 10 years. I can tell you that is the type of question a news director is saying to ask and focus on that angle because it plays for Mr. and Mrs. Jones watching on local television. I'm sorry. That's how the sausage is made, folks.
Yeah, all right. So, anyway, that cracked me up just a little bit. So, you got all the divisional round to look at. Golf Club of Southampton, they bring you today's show. You definitely want to check them out, especially when that sun is out, warms up just a little bit. Call 287-PLAY. Get on the tee sheet and go out and enjoy some cooler weather. It might be a little too cold for you right now, but you definitely can enjoy it.
Not in a dome.
Yeah, not in a dome.
Not in a dome.
They will have Thursday night trivia in their clubhouse dome, but then Friday night under the lights on the patio, it definitely will still be chill.
The sad thing about it is it sounded like a sister that would.
Oh, it was.
It did.
Certainly.
But again,
that's what I just told Matt Hayes. That's his sister.
I'm staying out of this, man.
I had to say it. It had to be said. It had to be said.
You know how
he
I feel
was
about
very
how,
polite to her.
Yeah,
like
I
he
know.
could have destroyed her if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And when he
I'm
asked,
glad.
he goes,
He
"You
showed
are
discretion. He
aware
showed
that."
discretion.
He goes, "You are aware that."
We're on.
Or they play inside, and she didn't have a response to that.
No, that was that pregnant pause. It was.
No, I wasn't aware.
Ooh.
And also, her question was so damn long.
Yeah, it was. How are you preparing? It's going to be 16 degrees.
Because some places, it's
almost
more
like a
colder than
comms we know,
others. It's like
that extended question. Huh?
Stop! Don't
As
do
a
that.
follow-up.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
He's a great journalist.
He's my friend, man. Come on.
All right. So the Jaguars, we know that there's going to be interviews that are taking place. We mentioned Wink Martindale. We mentioned the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen, and then also Marquand Manuel. And so Jaguar fans, let us know if you've done any intel research, if you want to just chime in on that 641-1010, you can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, because there are guys that you don't know a whole heck of a lot about, all right? You may have Googled, looked up, read, or whatever, but what are you looking for in that defensive coordinator when it comes to Doug Peterson making a very important hire for this football team? We can say, hey, there are three different phases of football, Leon, but you know as well as I do, it's offense and defense, okay? Special teams comes in special moments, but it's offense and defense. It's can you score and who you're going to stop from scoring. That's basically what
It's
it
really
is.
that simple. It really is that simple. I mean, we try to make it difficult. We try to make it difficult, but can you score? Can you stop the score?
Yeah.
And can you stop and defend on special teams? Can you kick field goals? That's what it boils down to. And you've got to have the people. You got to have the people in place at the top and the bottom and the assistants, and you got to have the team to buy in to. And the biggest problem that this Jaguar team, in my assessment, watching, they never played a complete game.
Yeah.
They never played a game where offensively we're clicking, defensively we're making stop, and special teams we're covering and we're kicking field goals. And until they get to that point where they have a complete football game, you're going to have seasons like this. You're going to have disappointments. You're going to have letdowns. You're going to have colossal collapse towards the ends, that kind of. Until this team learns how to play a complete football game from start to finish, you're going to have the kind of collapses that we had this year.
Yeah, because you're going. You got to go down the line of play hungry, play smart, play with intensity and some nastiness. And I think if you listed all four of those, they were kind of missing down the stretch.
Yeah.
And I think that hurts. That's for sure. All right, Coach, at least giving us a little bit as far as what Ryan Nielsen is concerned, as far as what he hears, what he thinks, and so on and so forth. He said, "Great job organizing the defense and tremendous difference statistically from last year to this year. An accountable coach, a loyal coach. Those are the things that he likes more than anything else. But you're talking about 1 year experience as a coordinator, and that's what you have to deal with. Everything that goes on in the NFL when it comes to game planning and these, we used to see passing game coordinators, that title only on the offensive side. We now see passing game coordinator titles on the defensive side because it ain't easy. Nickel, dime, whatever you are, you're out of your base defense. You're playing 5 or 6 DBs. These guys, it becomes their specialty, and you're playing 50% or more out of base. So you better have your act together on that side of the football. And the only thing I worry about is lack of experience, and I still want a guy that's innovative on that side.
How did that work for the Eagles the other day?
Yeah. Oh, my
They got
God.
exposed, did they not? They half of the game they played 3-3-5 defense with five back defensive backs, and they got torched.
And guess what? Matt Patricia, veteran defensive coordinator.
That part.
Is he not?
Yeah,
Yes,
and can't you come out of this between his fail up in Detroit and his fail here? You can't help but say he lived off of Bill Belichick's coattails.
And now can he go back to New England and live off of Gerard Mayo's? That may be that, or Saban rehabilitation doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Where else is there a
Right.
seat for him to go sit at?
Yeah.
On the subject of Ryan Nielsen, I pried around with a couple of my my embedded and shreddeds up in Atlanta, and the biggest feedback I got from them is they feel like Ryan Nielsen is a future head coach in the National Football League. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing because that's what Press Taylor was also once upon a time heralded as. But here's something from one of my guys there who said, after the Jarrett injury, their run defense got gashed a few times. He had good schemes. Teams just wore them down. Plays a lot of man. They'd get beat deep a little too often. But the biggest thing was he had control of his side of the ball. As everything devolved with the quarterback situation with Arthur Smith, the season was kept alive by the defense. So 2 big things I take away from that. We know that would suggest Ryan Nielsen has attention to detail. And Doug Peterson is craving that on the defensive side of the ball in light of what happened over the last 2 months here in Jacksonville on that side of the ball. The second is the notion of playing a lot of man. Because I was talking with Gus about it. Like, do the Jags have the personnel to play that much man, being a predominantly zone team over the last however many years it's been? And, he actually went through, and if you look up on his Twitter page, it's at Gus_Logue. He went through and crunched the numbers about Tyson Campbell in premier matchups in man coverage against Devontae Adams, Cortland Sutton, et cetera, et cetera. And, he said he was a top 30 cornerback among 120 qualifiers in the following metrics on snaps played: cover 0, cover 1, and cover 2. And it's basically every metric: completion percentage allowed, yards per attempt, total EPA, success rate allowed. So he was a top 30 cornerback last year. He obviously was hurt this year. I think we've detailed that extensively.
Yeah, multiple.
Do you dismiss him
injuries.
heading into a contract year and say he can't play man? Or do you say we really haven't given him the opportunity to do so, and maybe if we bring in the coaching staff that could develop and unlock that, maybe he and Darius Williams could?
Well, if he can, contract year, he's going to play man if he's going to make that money. To be quite honest with you, he's going to be able to play man and press, because if he a man press, if he can be a lockdown corner going into his last year of his contract, that's how you get paid. This notion that can he play man, can he not play man? If he want to get paid, he better be able to play man.
Yeah, and I have to go back and think about the timeline of this. But Shaq Griffin, high-priced free agent that they signed, and Darius Williams, high-priced free agent that they signed.
They were more zone, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah,
and then when the injury occurred to Shaq and Darius, who I thought was asked to play inside far too long, I thought he was immediately going to go to the outside. Anyway, he went to the outside last year, and I thought they played more man, and I thought he was successful. So I still think that's a possibility, because that means both him and Tyson were asked to play man down the stretch more last year. Then, for whatever reason. You can go injuries. You can just go scheme. They didn't do it as often. But I agree with what you're saying, Leon, is that to make the salad, this is his salad year, as you like to describe it. This is you trying to make some lettuce off of this final year. You got to go out there and prove that you can stay healthy, that you can make plays on the ball, and you're going to have to do that in man. Most often, you're going to have to do that in man. So see what you can do. All right, so we'll keep it going. You guys can jump in on that subject, 641-1010. We will look at these 8 teams coming up, and we'll ask all of us to give from 8 to 1, okay? Instead of our 5-on-5 with our top 10, we got 8 teams left in the divisional round. 8 teams, how they rank. 8 quarterbacks, how they rank. And maybe if you did have Trevor in this conversation, where would he rank among those? D, A, L? I don't know. But we'll ask that question coming up on XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. You have arrived at your destination.
And you were meant to be here.
This is 1010XL.
This is your time.
Cold out there now? You want it warm and cozy inside, but is your home heating system safe to use regularly? Let Bold City Heating and Air perform a winter system checkup now for only $49. The Bold City team will optimize and revitalize your heating system so it's running safe and at peak efficiency. Don't waste hundreds by running your system poorly. Schedule a winter system checkup with BoldCityAC.com. Just $49 for peace of mind. Visit BoldCityAC.com.
Credit for everyone. 500 vehicles in one location. 30-day exchange program. If you want it all, get it all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Right now, just $500 down and $288 per month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $500 down and $388 per month. And if you're worried about financing, don't be. My friends at Arlington Toyota are all about their friendly credit for everyone program. And it's all about getting you approved. Go check it out. And remember, you can buy pre-owned with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange program. That's 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. When I say get it all at Arlington Pre-Owned, I mean it. Just $500 down, low payments, 30-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone. Sounds to me like it's time to get a new ride. Don't wait. Save thousands and shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
It happens every day. Regular people are winning every single day. Whether it's $500 or $50,000, anybody can win. Because when they win, I feel like I'm winning.
Hi, my name is Kong. I won over $100,000 playing Baccarat. You could pick banker or player. If you pick the right side, the odds in your favor.
My name is Janelle, and I won a brand new BMW. I screamed, I hollered.
Anybody could win at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Must be 21 to play slots or table games. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Is your house exterior due for a wash? First Coast Home Pros has thousands of 5-star reviews for a reason. They get amazing results on even the toughest pressure washing jobs. Schedule now at firstcoasthomepros.com.
Excelling in the classroom and the sports arena is quite an accomplishment. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Wednesdays on The Frangie Show, brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
In 1956, Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Johnny Cash got together for a very impromptu recording session at Sun Studios in Memphis. 25 years later, the recording was released to the public, dubbed the $1 Million Quartet. The story went on to be a Broadway hit, which you can now see at the Alhambra Theater. Relive the day of the $1 Million Quartet, now on stage through February 17th. Go to alhambrajacks.com or call 641-1212.
Hear the Florida Gators all season on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is now offering online scheduling for new patient appointments for all of their physicians. Simply schedule your appointment on your cell phone, tablet, or desktop. JOI is the first orthopedic practice in North Florida to offer this feature to patients. To schedule your appointment online, visit joi.net and click on the button at the top of the page. If you'll be using insurance, be sure and have your information handy. JOI, where the pros go.
Pacifico is brewed for those who let go of the things that don't matter and hold on to the ones that do. That's living life anchors up.
Pacifico, found in Baja, imported by surfers. Ask for a Pacifico when you're ready to live life anchors up.
Pacifico is a crisp golden lager, brewed for those who know. It's what's behind a label that matters.
No dental insurance? No problem. Introducing the Care Plus program from the dental offices of Dr. James McCall. For only $625 per year, you will receive 2 cleanings and dental exams, a full set of x-rays, plus 1 emergency dental exam and x-ray. You'll also receive a 20% discount on all other services offered. Kids 12 and under will receive the same program for only $525. Call Dr. McCall today at 620-9225.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
I'm not going to lie, Leon. You went over. You grabbed another one of those little packets over there.
Yeah, well, my pitch count is at 4 right now. I've eaten 4.
I've only had one.
Yeah.
God bless Matt Hayes with Awaken 180 that he has refrained. 'Cause you're tempting me. They're just sitting there.
Get
in
my belly! We're talking about individually wrapped double chocolate chip.
Double chocolate chip, walnut, pecan.
I probably should have specified that when I said those little packets over there. Yes, courtesy of the one, the only auntie.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to put auntie on speakerphone.
Our Nooners on YouTube love it.
Yeah.
We have multiple people commenting on the YouTube chat about how much they love auntie.
Oh man, auntie's the best.
It's like we need to get the box at JJ. Go get the box and just show them on YouTube because she put the bubble wrap in there.
Oh, she did, absolutely.
To avoid breakage.
Now, auntie she's the mother of.
Is it back there?
Yes, well, it's back there in the box.
Yeah, there you go.
She took it. Now, my auntie, she's the mother of Maurice Allen, who's the longest driver champion. You know, my little cousin Maurice, he's the longest driver champion.
All right, so JJ's showing on YouTube.
Yeah, show the box.
Yes, on
This is
YouTube,
just
folks.
Incredible. By the way, I'll just snag one right now.
Yeah, you want? Yeah.
There's one left.
I'll take another one too. Is that the last one?
That's the last one.
Oh my gosh, man,
this
that
is
went
freaky.
quick.
Yeah.
All right, we
I may
love
save
Auntie.
it for an
She
afternoon
is the XL
snack.
Primetime
Mhm.
auntie, that's for sure. I forgot what we were doing. All right, so
Our
now
eight-
we're
our
ranking
eight.
our
We're
8.
ranking our 8.
Yeah. So basically, you know, we like to do our 5-on-5, you know, high 5, low 5 in the NFL, adding up to 10, and we did our college football. Anyway, college football's gone. We're down to 8 teams in the National Football League. So why not fire up some NFL music? And basically, I thought it would be good if we go teams and then quarterbacks. And the reason I bring up quarterbacks is so we can bring Trevor into this discussion. We can also bring Jacksonville, of course, into this discussion, Leon. But at least start us off with teams.
Teams?
8, yeah,
All
8
right.
down to 1.
Okay, so are these the 8 teams left in the playoffs? How I've got them ranked?
Yeah.
All right. At number 8, I've got the Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers at number 8, even though they were very impressive against the Eagles. Baker Mayfield had one outstanding game, threw for 3 touchdowns. I got them at 8. At 7, I got the Texans at 7. I've got Green Bay at 6. I got your Lions at 5. Okay,
That's disrespectful.
I know it is. I know. But, JJ's not going to like. I have KC at 4.
I do too.
Okay, you got KC at 4. Okay, I got the Bills at 3, and I got the Niners at 2, and I've got the Ravens still number 1.
You do have the Ravens at 1.
I still do. Yes.
And honestly, it's hard to argue because of the head-to-head. All right, so hit them 8-1.
That's true.
Yeah, because
I mean, I guess I'm neglecting the head-to-head, which is
because
probably
it has
critical.
to count.
I have the Bucks at 8, although I think they're playing as well as any team in the national, well, of the 8 left.
Mm-hmm.
At number 7, I have the Texans. I feel like I may regret that after this weekend. At 6, I have the Packers, just because the Packers have invested so much capital in the draft on the defensive side of the ball. I know they've been up and down, but at some point or another, it's got to show up. It obviously did against Dallas. Can it show up in San Francisco? We will see. At number 5, the Detroit Lions. At number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 3, the Buffalo Bills. No team has been hotter over the last 2 months. I have the Ravens at 2 and the Niners at 1. I feel like part of that is I think the Texans could give the Ravens a more of a run for their money than the Packers will in terms of stylistic going up head-to-head.
Mm-hmm. Maddie?
I love the fact that we get to see Mahomes on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's first and foremost.
It's legit.
On the road in a tough situation, a tough environment against a hot team. Love that. I got Bucks at 8, Packers at 7. Love the way the Packers are playing. I mean, watch Jordan Love looks exactly like Aaron Rodgers in that offense.
But it's so funny.
It's
like
ridiculous.
we talked about
the mannerisms,
yesterday.
the way he throws everything.
It's like we talked about yesterday. It's a different offense, which still blows my mind because Aaron Rodgers said, "I'm not running with that bad boy." It's crazy.
He clearly learned behind Aaron Rodgers and watched Aaron Rodgers, and he's become a really good quarterback. I got the Lions at 6. You got the Chiefs at 5, JJ.
That is disrespectful.
You
You have the
above-
Texans above the Chiefs?
It's not the only team I got above.
Oh, come on.
I got the Bills at 4.
Well, that makes sense.
I got the Texans at 3.
Doesn't make sense.
That is a hot
You
team
love
right
C.J.
now.
Stroud.
That's a hot team with a white-hot quarterback. I got the 49ers at 2 and the Ravens at 1.
All right, so let's just go ahead and keep shaking it up. Why not? Because we deal in anger, and if it doesn't go well, then we'll just basically explain it away later. But the Chiefs, I also think, are as vulnerable as it gets.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about when you compare what they were to what they are now. And this is the only reason why I'm going in this direction, because I'm going to drop them even lower. All right, I think we all have the Bucks number 8. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just because. But I just think we're also ignoring what Baker Mayfield did this past week. And this includes me, because I'm putting him 8 as well. Because he had an unbelievable night, and he did it with guys dropping the football. How much better could it have been if Mike Evans and company had not dropped the football? Bottom line is I still have them 8 because I just don't see them moving on. And when I look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I feel like they're a little bit of a distant 8. Now, just go ahead and throw rocks if you want, but I'm going to put the Kansas City Chiefs next because I feel like
Jesus.
I honestly, I just feel like right now, defensively, they have stepped up. They are big time. They're playing legitimate championship level football, okay? But I feel like the receiving core is still a major liability. Rashee Rice is the only guy that has stepped up, okay? Travis Dropsy has not stepped up, okay? He has got a swift problem, and he needs a swift kick in the rear end. So I have no hesitation in putting them in that 7th spot. The Green Bay Packers can prove a heck of a lot to us if they keep going, and I'm going to put them in that 6th spot because of what they did was special, but they did it against a bad Dallas defense. Then I go with the Houston Texans. Certainly can turn a lot of heads when we see what they can do against Baltimore. But that team, that offense, traveling into, I think, a tough town to be able to keep it up. So I've got them number 4. And I've got Detroit number 3. And they can make a statement. They can step into the NFC Championship setting if they do what I think they're going to do against Tampa. And so I have no problem putting them in that 4th spot. And then you come down to these last 3, and it's Buffalo, it's San Fran, and it's Baltimore. And that's the order I'm putting them in. Because I still think Buffalo is red hot, but let's also make sure that Josh Allen keeps things clean. And we can't forget the 2 teams that were off are rested and worked hard enough to get that weekend off. And so I'll just go that. I'll go in that order. All right, you want to go, JJ?
I just want to reiterate that Joe has the Chiefs number 7, the Packers and the Texans above him. All
above
right.
them. Yep. Just note that.
I have the
please.
Packers 8, Bucks 7. Really, it doesn't matter to me. You can flip those.
Yeah.
The Texans 6, Lions 5, Chiefs 4, Bills 3, Ravens, and the Niners number 1.
Mm-hmm. And so you do have the Niners number 1, even though Baltimore did beat them at their house. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
it's the playoffs now.
Yeah, sure.
I think the Ravens could
changes.
easily lose on Sunday.
It changes. All right, quarterbacks, Big Sirs.
All right, quarterbacks. All right. At number 8, I got Baker Mayfield.
It's hard. Yeah, all right.
It's hard. He had that great game against the Eagles. Absolute great game. Number 7, I got Love. But what he did against the Cowboys in that defense on the road, very spectacular. I got Stroud at 6. Same thing goes for him.
Yeah.
I mean, against that Cleveland defense. It's funny that the number 1 defense and the number 1 offense both tumbled in the same week. Dolphins and Browns, both outie. Number 5, I got Goff. Number 4, I got Purdy. I got Purdy at 4. Number 3, I got Patrick Mahomes, boy. It's been very interesting to see him on the road against Buffalo. You know, he's been comfortable the last 5-6 years at home. You know, never having hit the road. So that's gonna be a doozy. I can't wait for that game. Above him, I got Josh Allen at number 2, and at number 1, I got El Boogie. At number 1.
He is a stud.
A potential MVP.
I'm going to upset some people once again with my rankings for quarterbacks. At number 8, I have Jared Goff. I know he started out with a perfect passer rating in the first half, but when you pressure him, when you force him to make off-platform throws, he stumbled over his own 2 feet not once but twice into sacks on Sunday night against the Rams. I have some concerns. I give Baker his flowers. I put him at 7 as opposed to number 8, like seemingly everyone else in the world, because he has been able to elevate the play of that entire Bucs offense. He and Dave Cannavales have this weird synergy going on.
Yeah,
and
Canales is like a coaching candidate. After
it's awesome. They have this awesome energy. It's like G and Steichen out in Indy. At number 6, I have Jordan Love because he has also looked awesome. C.J. Stroud clocks in at number 5. Yes, I know he's more God-given talented than Brock Purdy, who I have at number 4. But Brock Purdy has been as efficient a quarterback as we've seen in the National Football League this year, which is partially why I have Josh Allen at number 3, although he's been great of late. We know the threat of the turnover is always real, especially the bugaboo against the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 2, I have Lamar, and at number 1, I have Patrick Mahomes, because on this list, he's the only one. I guess Jared Goff technically did take the Rams once upon a time to a Super Bowl, but he's the only one that's proved it to me in the postseason in the last, however many years.
Matty?
All right, I got Baker at 8, and the only reason I have Baker at 8 is just because he played in a controlled environment against a team that was tanking. Played well. I'm going to give him that. Played well, and has played well the second half of the season. But I got him at 8. I got Goff at 7. Goff is just a classic game manager, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that. I got Jordan Love at 6. He is rising, boy, rising.
Playing well.
Yep. At 5, I've got Brock Purdy. At 4, I've got Josh Allen. 3, I got El Boogie.
El Boogie, who's got one playoff win.
El Boogie at 3. I still think the Rams are the best team right now in the playoffs, but I don't think El Boogie's the best quarterback. At 2, I got Stroud.
Yeah.
You
do love him. Oh my God, you are loving on Stroud.
I do love Stroud, man. I mean, look at him. Every time he plays, it's
and number 1,
phenomenal what he's doing.
I'm over it.
Number 1 is Mahomes.
Yeah. And look, it's hard. All right, so I'll go real quick with the same type of feel. Baker last.
Thank you for doing the right thing, Matt.
Yeah. Baker last. And Jared Goff, even though he's my Lions and he's done some great things, he still can wobble here and there. And so I'm going to put him 7th, and I'm hoping he makes a big statement this weekend. Love, you can't ignore what he did. You have to love it if you're a Packer fan. Again, against a D defense that just was P-poor, all right? Stroud next, and then Purdy, because he has done it consistently. Lamar, as great as he is, he's gotten even better this year with what looks like an MVP performance. And then Josh Allen has also had an MVP type of year. Think of what they have been able to do. And then I don't hesitate to put Mahomes first, because he has done more with less this year, and he still is in a position to get the job done. JJ.
I agree. Pat Mahomes, number 1 for me. This isn't about like what happened last week. I don't care. I have Love as 8. I have Love and Baker 7 and 8. You could flip them however you want. I have Purdy 6. You talk about Goff as a game manager. I think that's exactly what Purdy is.
In a lot of ways.
Stroud at number 5, but to me, his ceiling, he could go in the top 3 next season to me. Goff number 4. I like Goff a little bit more than the rest of you guys. Lamar 3 and Josh Allen 2. I could have flipped those. I can hear an argument either one, and then Patrick Mahomes number 1.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I saw 3-2-1. All right, so go ahead.
Now I wanted to show the big fellas some love. I got the top 8
This is
offensive
important.
line.
Oh, let's go.
All right. Top 8. All right, the big fellas got to get some love too. Now these guys are very important to the playoff. The big sexes, absolutely. You want me to start at 1 or you want me to start at 8? I think I'm gonna start at 1 because I'm gonna show you who's the last one.
Yeah.
At number 1, I got the 49ers.
Yeah.
All right, Niners, I got the number 1.
No explanation needed.
I got the Lions 2.
Yep.
Ravens 3, Bills 4, Bucks 5, Texans 6, Green Bay 7, and at number 8, the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line is number 8.
They have played poor.
Yes.
They really have.
And if they go out,
Yeah.
it'll be because of them.
Yeah, the Jawan flags, the Donovan Smith fails on the left side, those are real.
Because the competition is going to get steeper in the playoffs, and you can't afford your offensive line, penalties, holdings. They'll drive killers.
Yeah, and Epinesa, who was a backup, some of those guys are going to make plays against that front. All right, so let's keep the Trevor where he ranks right now, just for the heck of it, coming up in just a little bit. Gio will drop in as well. It's XL Primetime, the Golf Club of Southampton, Wednesday.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Choose your social channel. Twitter at 1010XL, Facebook at 1010XL, Instagram at 1010XL, TikTok at 1010XL, YouTube at 1010XL. 1010XL is there.
Josie for Roland Reese Plumbing. Let's use what we just talked about and use it with Roland Reese. Experience. It counts. If you've done it, if you succeeded, if you've won, it counts. Roland Reese Plumbing, 25 years experience here in Jacksonville. They take care of all of Duval and the First Coast, so just make sure you check them out. Licensed and insured. And honestly, quality and experience, it should count. I don't care what you're talking about. If you've got a plumbing problem, log on jacksonvilleplumbing.com and trust Roland Reese, okay? Remember, if you've got a leak and can't wait a week, you need to call Roland Reese.
When it comes to a new roof, you want the golden standard. Can't afford the cost of replacing your roof without financing? Don't worry, we have special financing with up to 30-year terms. As long as you're not in an active bankruptcy, current with your property taxes and mortgage, not in a reverse mortgage, no liens or judgments, and no foreclosure, we should be able to get you funded. No hard credit check required.
Golden Hammer Roofing and Gutters.
Golden Hammer.
The golden standard in roofing.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Ready to turn game day into payday? Head to Aces Sports Bar in Best Bet St. Augustine for the ultimate win. Catch all the NFL and college football games on our big screens and play your hand at the tables. Plus, anytime a touchdown is scored, someone wins $100 during select games with Best Bet St. Augustine's Lucky Seat Cash giveaway. Visit bestbetjacks.com for full details.
Hey, this is David here with Royal Pest Services. Do you have that room in the house that is just too cold in the winter and just too hot in the summer? To learn about our pest-rated insulation, visit RoyalPestServices.com or call 886-2847.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 17, 1988 AFC Championship game, the Broncos beat the Browns 38-33, featuring the infamous fumble on the 3-yard line.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
This is Hayes Carline for Skylife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers?
Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Trivia enthusiasts, Tuesday night is your night. Gather your team and join us at Players Grill in Mandarin or Miramar for the ultimate trivia showdown. It's a whole lot of fun every Tuesday starting at 7 p.m. Are you ready to prove you're the trivia champions? Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
O'Reilly. Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can now do it in less than a week. Hey, it's Prosser here, and that's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, or even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. And you don't even have to touch your primary mortgage, so you can keep that 3% rate intact. Just get the money you need and pay off all those credit cards, or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars have to make several significant roster decisions over the next few months. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley will be an unrestricted free agent in March. John Ogier of Jaguars.com, a guest this morning of Jaguars Today on the situation with Ridley.
He said during the Getaway Day interview, he mentioned contract, whatever it was, it's going to come down to money, and for him, if he has a choice in it, his financial situation is going to weigh very heavily, as it should. That's sort of where I'm at. I think they want him back. I don't know if they'll be able to meet at a place that makes sense for both.
John Ogier this morning with Jaguars Today. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
Always good to see Gio as he comes rolling into the 1010XL studios. Scrubbed up, ready to go. Dr. George Bari. Welcome in, sir. How are
What's
you,
up,
buddy?
man? I'm good.
Everything good?
Yeah.
I mean, positive?
Yeah.
2024 is like never before. Is that
Like
kind of how you're viewing it?
Yeah.
All right,
like
listen.
never before.
If you've got a sports injury question, you can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. I always call it free medical advice. And Dr. George Bari, fellowship trained under the renowned Dr. James Andrews. So we're talking aches, pains in the joint areas. Fire away, and we will see if we can help you just a little bit. All right, so let's go to the biggest one over the weekend. And I'm telling you what, bro, I felt bad when I saw this injury on Tyler Higbee. As a matter of fact, the Detroit Lions, they got a little vicious on the defensive side of the ball. They tried to kill Matthew Stafford. And then also what they did to Higbee. And you saw it, Gio.
Yeah.
His knee was destroyed.
I mean, if you watch the replay, you would think it possibly got dislocated. I mean, it was bad. Very bad.
And a dislocated knee
is not good.
Yeah.
But, he walked off the field. They said he just tore his ACL, and they're going to get more testing, supposedly, to see if anything else happened. But It didn't look good at all. I mean, I'd be shocked if it was only an ACL.
Right. Okay. So if you don't mind, just kind of give us a little bit of that, because the hit came from the side, which meant that knee, the whole thing was completely compromised.
Right. It looked like it came from the outside, if I'm not mistaken. So immediately, the way his knee bent in that valgus deformity or the knock-knee deformity, you worry about your MCL tearing, right? Then he has, I guess they examined him, he has an ACL tear. If you did dislocate or get close to dislocating your knee, you have a posterior lateral corner that can tear with it. And then you have meniscus that can tear. So those 4 things is what you're worried about in that kind of hit when it happens.
More of our favorite exercise, handing Dr. George Bari my laptop so he can review this, because I'm not sure if you actually saw the video, Doc. We've all seen Terrell Bernard of the Bills getting carted off the field of that playoff win over the Steelers, but it's an ankle injury officially. It looks pretty gnarly. Does it not?
Yeah.
Or does it look pretty standard to you? Because Sean McDermott said there's confidence he could play this weekend.
It looks, I mean, he bent it pretty good, but it looks like a normal ankle sprain. You know, I think they're just based on this video and the fact that they said he could play again, doesn't sound like it's too terrible. So it looks like it's one of those, he has an ankle sprain, day-by-day thing. He may need a week to recover and come back and play. So I don't think it's too bad, but ankle sprains can be iffy. You know, sometimes you feel better walking, but then you go to run and put some power behind it, and you're sore. So it can take a week or two, sometimes even more. Obviously, we've seen that for an ankle sprain.
Related to that, because he was carted off the field. I know we jokingly said off the air, we know someone who didn't get a cart off the field after an ankle injury. But here's the thing, boys. Like, that field at Highmark Stadium, unlike Arrowhead, unlike some of these other, cold weather temperature stadiums, but they have the heating underneath the grass, the Bills Stadium does not have heating underneath it. That's part of why they're building a new stadium. So, I mean, he's rolling his ankle, yes, but it's like essentially on rock, is it not? So I was just curious, Doc, have you seen more injuries when the field is that ice cold as opposed to a normal 45-degree day?
Well, I will say I've never been in, I think, in an area where it's constantly that
True.
cold. But I think you do probably have more injuries in the cold in the sense that you're less warmed up, right? Your muscles are tight. But I'm personally, I've always been in Florida. So for me, going up there, it'd be interesting to see the statistics on it.
I think, Matty, before we get to another question, he says personally he's always been in Florida. I think that's why he's got that scrub, kind of outfit that
Don
he's
Johnson.
got right now, because he's like, well, I'll give you an example of what Gio is doing right now, and you can go to YouTube and you can check this out, but just go ahead and fire it up, JJ.
Show him, man.
The other really important thing, Mr. Winfield did not have on a shirt. Ryan Clark does.
I do have on a shirt, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not on TV naked.
When you're an all-pro safety, there, you can come out just be nearly butt-ass naked. You
I am
actually
not.
had a suit on, very handsome.
I'm an NFL analyst. I can't come out here with my chest open like Louis Riddick.
Now, Gio's kind of looking like Louis Riddick right now. He's rocking the chain.
It's funny. We had a couple people at my house a couple weeks ago, and I made fun of one of the guys because he wore an undershirt underneath his button-up shirt. I said, listen, you got to open up the buttons, and you can't have an undershirt. Back in the day, that's what we did. Now I'm old.
He's going
frail.
Scorpion
I don't
right
do
now.
that anymore.
All right, Gio.
It's awesome.
You and your gorgeous eyebrows, too. All right. We're 18, 19 weeks into this season. You've dealt with athletes at this point of a season. Any little hit is going to be potentially like, you've got a problem. So you're talking about cortisone shots. You're talking about ways to just basically extend the season, right?
Yeah.
So how dangerous is it for those guys to just find a way to extend the season?
I think it depends on your injury, right? If you have an MCL tear that you can maybe still run on and you want to put a brace on it, you're going to risk making it worse. If you have a meniscus tear or a labrum tear and you just want to get it done with and play, that's fine, right? You just got to know, like a labrum tear, your shoulder could dislocate if you're having apprehension.
Right.
You got to wear a brace and just be careful. So it really depends on what it is. Now, the good thing is there's only a couple weeks left and then you're going to rest it. So I think there's not that big of a risk, but it really depends on because different injuries are vastly, there's a big difference between an ankle sprain and you have a fractured wrist trying to do something.
So you've been around these guys real quick. What % do you think of a team is when Monday begins, Monday of the work week, they're still in the playoffs. What percent of the team are going in to get training, to get assistance?
Like,
hurt guys.
Probably more than half. I mean, they're all everyone's banged up. Everyone has to go to the trainer. I mean, everyone's going to the trainer for something, right? Everyone has a shoulder that's been hurting them all year, and now it's just getting worse because it's the end of the season. And everyone always says the playoffs, they hit harder, run faster.
Right.
Or an ankle that's been bothering them, and now it's just finally, you're 17 weeks in. And so I think, and Leon could probably attest to it more than I can, probably half these guys are seeing the trainer for something.
And these guys were the Bills had backup linebackers in for almost
AJ
the
Klein
entire
was
second
supposed to
half.
be going to the Keys in an RV with his family, and at the 11th hour, they were like, "Actually, you're still technically on the practice squad. Can we
We're
elevate
moving
you?"
you up."
And guess what? You're playing.
Yeah, and in that type of cold weather, like we talk about, it makes it even worse.
Yeah, it's just the ball's harder. I mean, it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, the second half, whoever was returning the football for the Miami Dolphins, like he ran to the 15 and almost fell over. He was frozen. All right, Gio, listen, we got the Breaking Bones show Sunday morning at 7:30. So if you got a sports injury question, 641-1010, you can hit that. If you shoot it to us now, we'll make sure it's on Breaking Bones Sunday morning. All right, Gio, tell them how they can find out about you besides BariOrthopedics.com.
Apple, Google, and Spotify.
You can go back and listen to the podcast and check out everything. We appreciate it as always. Keep rocking it there, Scorpion. All right,
Thanks, guys.
Dr. George Bari out the door. And by the way, he's got me on the mend. Okay, I'm feeling better. The man knows what he's talking about. He's got me scheduled for some physical therapy, so he's helping me. All right, throw it in there, Big Sirs.
No, real quick on the KC Miami game. My cigar buddy Ramon is a referee. He was reffing that game.
Oh my God!
He was reffing that game. He told me that he felt like he was going to die. That was his exact words at the cigar bar because the game was what was it, Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday night.
I saw him when I got back Monday, and I said, bro, you were at the game? He said, bro, I did the game. He said, I was almost late for the game because I was putting on so much thermal. He said he had on two wetsuits, long johns, and the referee outfit. He said when he ran out on the field, he said, Big Sirs, he said, I could not breathe. He said, I never thought.
And he's moving around.
He's moving around. He said,
imagine those people sitting there in the stands.
He said, I've never felt that way before in my life. Yeah. And he told me. He said,
I saw like 15 people were treated for hypothermia.
Yeah, he told me.
Especially the dude that went topless. A real good
He told me
decision
after
there,
the
pal.
game. He told me after the game. He said he told them, don't ever sign me up for this again.
Well, it's so funny because Chris Collinsworth was MIA.
Yes.
He let Jason Garrett have that one just so he could make it back for the cool, comfy confines the next night up in Ford Field, which, by the way, if you don't know, it's a dome. It is a dome. All right, real quick, Big Sirs, before you leave.
Yep.
We ranked the quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So we asked, where does Trevor rank right now in the quarterback situation?
I broke it down. Well, in the AFC, I had him at 9th in the AFC, and then I had 5 quarterbacks in the NFC in front of him. So if I was to rank Trevor right now, he'll probably be 15th right now as far as quarterback play. 15th overall.
Middle of the pack, Matty?
That's why I have him 15.
Yeah. I mean, it's generous right now the way he's been playing.
Yeah.
Because I'm ranking him not on potential. I'm ranking him on productivity.
Right, what he did.
Yeah, what he did. I mean, it's a difference between wanting a rose and driving one.
Yeah.
He, right now, he's a lot of potential, but we haven't seen it enough, in my opinion.
Truck right now.
All right, Mia, where are you putting him?
The good news is I have him 12th or 13th overall. The bad news is I have him 9th in the AFC.
Yeah, and if you start going down the AFC, and that's really where it becomes a problem. And I'll just give you this. Last year, and I can't quite remember the number, but it was in the neighborhood of 12 touchdowns, 1 pick down the stretch, okay? Mm-hmm. Jordan Love is now operating on that number, okay? It's 13 and 1, okay? That's the type of guy that just passed him. Now, he got passed, and Jalen Hurts got passed. Mm-hmm. So there are 2 guys that played into the second, at least into the divisional round, and obviously for Jalen Hurts, they went to the Super Bowl. But these are guys that took steps back. And Dak took a step back this go around. So I'm going to put him middle of the pack just like you are.
Yeah.
And you got him 12 or 13th. Matt, you got him
overall?
Yeah.
Like 15, 16.
Yeah. JJ, middle of the pack?
Yeah, I'd probably have him over a couple of the guys in the NFC we brought up.
Yeah.
But yeah. 10 to 15 range, 12 to 15 range.
And so we're talking about the quantum leap. That has to take place. And that means press and whoever else is on that side now being asked to do more, along with Doug Peterson. They got to make him a better player.
And this is about now. It's not about potentially, because I think potentially he could be very good. But this is about now. What's happened now?
Exactly. All right, we'll keep that conversation going into the 2 o'clock hour. You guys jump in 641-1010. Where would you rank Trevor Lawrence right now? You can go AFC if you want. You can go NFL overall. Where are you putting him? Put a number next to his name and let us know. Big Sirs, enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
All right.
Will you get your referee buddy to come in? Wearing
I'll
the two
reach out
scuba
to him.
suits?
Yeah, more than likely, I'll probably see him this afternoon.
Okay.
So I'll see if he can come over or call in.
Yeah, that sounds good. All
Tell
right.
him I got some certain bets this week, and I'll let him know.
Stop it.
Yeah, if we could. Actually, it's a very good point.
Yeah, we
It's
can't.
an excellent point.
He can't do that. He told me that they let him know what games they're going to do right after the game. So he might be doing another game this week. He probably, about what's today, Wednesday? He probably knows about it.
So you let us know what game he's doing, and then I'll.
Especially if he's headed up
I'm
to
not about
Buffalo.
to get that man fired.
Hey,
no,
listen,
I'm not
there
messing.
there are so many metrics out there
Yeah.
right now, so much analytics thanks to PFF and everything. They take a head ref and they put him in these games and handicap the whole, how many flags, what type of game they call, all kinds of stuff.
Well, the interesting thing about watching the game with him is that he's telling other refs, "Hey, man, don't make that call." I'll say, "You wouldn't have made it." "No, I wouldn't have made that call." I said, I can appreciate you.
Oh, like while you're watching the games. I would love that. That is cool.
Yeah, let's move on. The classic minor league umpire, outs get you to the house, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking to get the job done and be done. It's XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Ride with the Frangie Show.
We'll crank this sucker up. You can drop us off, and you guys can be back in your home planet before supper.
Let the Frangie Show drive you home.
Let's go.
We're going home.
Afternoons
All systems are working, Commander.
on 1010XL.
Feeling the chill or breaking a sweat in your own home? Call JTM Comfort Services. Father-son owned and veteran operated with 40 years experience to serve the Guggen Nation. JTM Comfort Services gets it right the first time, providing top-notch service, maintenance, and replacements for your heating and cooling needs. Get up to $1,300 back on the new system. Right now, get a free service call with any repair or replacement. Licensed and insured, visit jtmcooling.com.
Your comfort is our name. Call my dad to keep you in the game.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and right before the holiday break, I was down 30 pounds with Awaken 180. Did I pack on 5 more during the holiday festivities? Nope. I lost another 3 during the toughest time for weight loss. Look, you've heard Mike Dempsey and I rave about the simplicity of Awaken 180, but let me paint a clearer picture. We're talking about a program so straightforward, even a couple of normal guys like us aced it. And if we can do it, there's no doubt you can too. In 2 months, I've dropped 35 pounds, and the weight is practically melting off without any of the sweating. Do you have to run to lose weight with Awaken 180? Absolutely not. But exercise is great and encouraged. But if losing weight is your goal, it's about what you put in your mouth. I'm back at the gym, but you don't have to. No gym, no meds. Just listen to your coach and boom. It's that simple. Eat to lose weight with the clear solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Do what Mike and I did and call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Or schedule your January consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. Look, it's kind of cooling down right now. I love opening my windows up this time of year. If you're looking to upgrade your windows in your home, I want you to visit the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Ask about their latest hurricane and impact-resistant windows and doors, rated #1 by Consumer Reports in all 3 main window categories. You want quality, style, and protection? Visit PellaJacks.com and the showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. That's Pella Windows and Doors online at PellaJacks.com.
If you have had problems selling your home or haven't even bothered selling because of the problems that you would expect, here's a promise for you. Chad and Sandy of ChadandSandy.com guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Simple as that, right? So if maybe you are worried about selling for less money, or maybe you want maximum equity from your home but not sure how, they have the answers. the solutions, the promises to take care of all that. Take it from Debbie in Orange Park. I was going through a divorce and needed to be close to family quickly. I was going to sell my home to an instant offer investor for $375, but I heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and decided to call. Thank goodness. Chad and Sandy got me $45,000 more in just 3 days. Call the only agents we're trusting and recommending. Call Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. The number is 904-414-6200, or you can go to chadandsandy.com. That's chadandsandy.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Make a difference in our community for 2024. Brian King here, Chairman of the Board of Governors of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Each Boys and Girls Club offers a safe environment to kids in need each and every day with homework assistance, career readiness, and a hot meal. Consider brightening the life of a child by sponsoring a pizza party at one of our area clubs. As you do your giving, help us brighten the life of a child. Go to bgcnf.org to learn more.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8-SPARKY. Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Start your new year off healthy and get screened at Ackerman Cancer Center with on-site imaging, including whole-body MRI, PET and CT scans, and mammography. Early detection is key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
I was on the go. It was time to eat. I said, baby, where my dandy? 'Cause they can't be beat. She got something else when it was time to choose. And after just one bite, I got that soggy sandwich blue. Should've known better, only dandy will do. Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you. Yeah, she done me wrong. Didn't get my dandy. I need my ham and cheese. That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted. Should've known better, only dandy will do. Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you. Yeah.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by the Jacksonville Hearing and Balance Institute. Alabama freshman All-American safety Caleb Downs will enter the transfer portal after just one season in Tuscaloosa. Downs was the National Freshman of the Year, totaling 107 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 2 interceptions for the Crimson Tide defense. Also this afternoon, Alabama starting left tackle Caden Proctor has entered the portal as well. Downs and Proctor become the 24th and 25th Alabama players to enter the transfer portal this offseason. It's right now a chilly 45 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, a couple college football notes. First of all, just want to say, Cam Ward is on campus at the University of Miami, hanging out with Xavier Restrepo. Love it. Wide receiver number 1, quarterback number 1.
Did Talia reach out to Xavier Restrepo about getting like an 8th year of eligibility? He's got some experience.
Unfortunately, he will be in the NFL next year.
No.
Yeah, he didn't get his year of eligibility. This from Washington. So we've all been talking about the exodus of players from Alabama after their coach left. We haven't talked too much about Washington. They're going through the same thing. Their defensive back, Vincent Holmes, has entered the transfer portal, a 4-star recruit from the 2023 class.
And just the natural evolution of a coach leaving means players will leave. Sure. And Saban opens up that floodgate of possibilities for Tide players to say, you know what, it ain't high tide no more. It's low tide. I'm out of here. And then the same thing up in Washington, because DeBoer, at least for what he has done, getting them to the college football playoff in the Natty game, they're looking around going, I want to go where I can be in that environment again. And who knows whether or not Jed Fish is going to create that environment.
Well, it's the ability to leave now, too. I think that's what people don't understand.
Very, very
why
true.
People can't. It's hard for people to recognize and wrap their mind around this. Think about this. So when Urban Meyer left Ohio State, that roster that he left, Ryan Day, was loaded.
Chock full.
Loaded, okay? Loaded.
And Ryan Day hasn't stopped.
National championship level loaded roster, okay?
Yeah.
So, but when he left, there was no such thing as NIL. There was no such thing as free player movement.
Right.
Those cats weren't leaving because if they left, they'd have to sit out a year.
Yeah.
Now these guys can go wherever they want.
Yeah, very true.
So it's not so much the idea of, oh my God, it's Saban, everybody's running away because now Saban's. No, they're leaving because of numerous things. And Number one, first and foremost, they can.
Yeah, and like if you're doing a dramatization, basically back then, the player finds out Urban leaves and says, we're screwed. We can't do anything.
Well, it's also that
today's world dramatization, where you want to go.
Yeah.
Where you want to go.
And the other school can't bring anybody in right now, which screws Alabama and Washington. Like, the players have 30 days to leave, but these universities, since the portal is closed for everyone else, they can't go get anybody.
Plus,
you don't have that extra scholarly
That's
right
got to
now.
change.
I know that you guys think this isn't reality, but it is reality because at the end of the day, the money is the same, pretty much. So these guys end up going where they feel most comfortable as far as coach-wise, okay? They're going to get paid. They know that. So these are also guys that went to Alabama to play for Saban. So they don't know Kalen DeBoer. They have no idea who he is.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's also part of it. So the idea is you can leave if you want. You don't have to sit out. And you went there for a specific reason, and that specific reason is gone.
Yeah, and the movement, the
loyalty, quote unquote, loyalty to a program, it just
doesn't exist.
It's not reality.
Yeah, and I was going to use the word mortality as far as college careers go. Is that you're mortal. You only have so much time. Well, now that's been extended, and I think what you just the phrase you just used is true. Is it basically gives them life that they can, and you know what, they could stay where they are because it is a good program. And the new coach can fall in love with them even more. That's also a possibility. But Kalen DeBoer's got to sell himself to them and what he can do with that program.
It's also a lot of guys, believe it or not, that even if Nick was there, we're in the portal.
Yeah.
Because they're not playing.
Right, exactly.
The days of Nick having those 4- and 5-star guys just sitting there waiting to go to the next guy, and developing over a couple years are long gone.
Well, I'll give you one example that definitely pops in my head. Scott Satterfield leaves Louisville, and Jeff Brom comes in there and takes over. You think Brom's going to throw the football. Well, Jawar Jordan, big running back, says, gosh, man, I'm probably not going to have a place here. Brom says, hold on a minute, man. Don't whatever I saw from you last year, and he immediately went and told him. He said, whatever I saw from you last year, I liked, and I got a plan for you. What did Jordan do? He goes, okay, all right, I'm going to stick around. And he made him obviously a very good player.
Well, I mean, look, here's a perfect example, okay? Malik Benson was the number 1 JUCO player last year, okay? He was a guy that everybody thought would be an impact player at Alabama, receiver. Went to Alabama, caught 13 passes, couldn't get on the field.
Right.
So he transfers to Florida State. He was leaving whether Nick was going to be there or not, period.
Right.
Earl Little, another guy, couldn't get on the field. He was leaving whether Nick was going to be there or not. Terrence Ferguson, another guy, was leaving whether Nick was going to be there or not. And FSU got all 3 of these guys. I'm not saying these guys are scrubs. Right. I'm saying these are 4-star guys that couldn't get on the field at Alabama, and they want to play somewhere. That's all.
Which is the nature of college football in 2024.
Especially now, yes.
It just so happens that 5 of them are going to Florida State, which...
Because they can. That's the best part of all. People don't understand. They can. They're allowed to go. It's free. Free movement.
I think what the Nooners are looking for you to concede, Matt Hayes, is the fact that 5 of these 20-some-odd transfers from Alabama, some of whom were pre-Nick Saban's announcement, some are post, have chosen Florida State over the 129 other programs in FBS.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to understand, like, what do you want me to say? Okay, it's great. Mike Norvell does a great job with the portal. We've already gone over that over and over and over. There's no doubt about it. I mean, let's see what happens when these guys get there.
Hang the banner.
He's got
portal champs.
I mean, Richie Leonard was a guy at Florida who, frankly, underachieved. Started a lot of games. Let's see if Florida State can turn him into a legit interior offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not saying he can. I'm just saying, look, you got to go with Norvell's track record. He's clearly done it in the last 2 years.
To the point that Joe made about Louisville and Scott Satterfield and identifying talent and saying, hey, please stick around. I know there's plenty of trolls on the internet right now saying, man, oh man, how bad did that introductory meeting with Kalen DeBoer and the current Alabama roster go, that 8 of them, including at least 2, if not more, star players, I guess 4 we said, have said, yeah, no, I'm out. Nice meeting you, I'm out. But then you couple that again with Jabbar Muhammad, the corner for Washington, who starred in the playoff.
Come on over.
Said he's probably following Kalen DeBoer. That offensive line has been decimated, 2 to the NFL draft, 3 to the portal. I would think they probably get a look down in Tuscaloosa, do they not? And so maybe that's why Caden Proctor says, all right, he's bringing in his own guy.
The other part, and I don't know if you can remember this, Matt, or Mia, the Brian Kelly entrance, the Southerner, when he took over down at Baton Rouge, he alienated a few people. And what happened? He had 36 defections, basically, that he had to deal with around bowl time.
He also told him you can't play. Too,
right.
So.
And defections, defections is probably not the right word. Yeah, you're right. Some of them left.
Some left, and some
the other ones he told to leave. Yeah. Okay, so I guess my point is
not like
that,
any other program.
Right. And so you have to deal with this. And even though Brian Kelly comes in with a hell of a name, they still said either I'm out or he told them to get out. And so, yeah, and you can immediately have an impact if you bring those other guys.
Plus, and this cannot be overstated enough, the draw to Alabama wasn't the money, it was Saban. Saban was the draw for all these 5-star guys year after year after year after year.
It was knowing he'd get them to the league, they'd win a national title.
It's not, like, money is, I keep saying this over and over because I think people aren't listening. It's the same everywhere. The money is the same everywhere. You might get 10,000 more here or 5,000 more there. At the end of the day, these guys go, who's going to get me to the NFL quick, fast enough? Who's going to develop me so I'm ready for the NFL?
Yeah, and I always maintain that it doesn't level the playing field. It takes you right back to where you were with the best programs generally getting the best players.
But the money at the very least, convinces guys like Luther Burden from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Well, I can go to Missouri and earn money. And I'm confident in myself that I can get to the NFL.
Yeah,
at least you had guys like that.
He's an exception to the rule. If you don't mind.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Since I know all you Knowles fans listening have Hayes Fawcett's tweets set on an alert for you, class of 2024 quarterback Trevor Jackson, previously committed to Ole Miss, has flipped his commitment to Florida State. 6'3", 190-pound quarterback from Winter Garden here in Florida. Was also an Elite 11 finalist in the 2024 class. Joins Luke Kromenhoek, friend of the program, as 2 quarterbacks now in the incoming freshman class for Mike Norvell.
Well, yeah, he keeps it going in the right direction, that's for sure. And we'll find out, when you make the decision that Florida State made to up the ante, keep him, make sure he doesn't leave. The last thing they needed was more fracture around the football program when they had just gotten stability and he had just gotten into a position where he's recruiting and working the transfer portal like a mother.
I mean, to be fair to Lane, he's got Jackson Dart coming back as a 5-star. Walker Howard's a 5-star as his backup. Austin Simmons a 5-star as his backup.
Mm-hmm.
What's this kid going to do? Go in there and compete with those guys?
Yeah, don't know. Look, we've seen a lot of these guys. I keep saying this over and over and over. 5-star don't mean nothing, okay? There's too many of them that have that walked in 5 stars and left 1 star.
But these guys also see what's on the roster. They're not, they want to go where they think they can play.
Yeah, and Lane's proven that he can do that, and Norvell has proven that he can do that. That's for sure.
Right.
As far as both are concerned. All right, we'll keep it rolling. Golf Club of Southampton. You roll the ball out, you're going to find a great golf course. Cold weather, embrace it. Okay, get the beanie on, the hoodie on, whatever. Head on out and enjoy it. You can call 287-PLAY. The beautiful thing about it, this has been pointed out countless times, is those from the north know how few months you get to play the game of golf. Those in the South know you can play it year-round. So enjoy it. 2-8-7-PLAY. Don't forget Thursday night trivia, Friday night music under the stars right there on the patio, and they'll probably have some warmers out there for you, but a new menu item and local artists featured. Make sure you check it out at the Golf Club of Southampton. We'll keep it rolling in the college football world, and then back to the latest as far as the interview room for the defensive coordinator position in the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Let's go!
It's always football season.
You gotta love this, don't you?
On Jacksonville's football station.
It's a man game! It's a man game! It's a man! You better get
1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Local 234 Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, and HVAC Technicians is now taking applications for their state-certified apprenticeship program. As an apprentice, you'll receive excellent benefits, higher pay, job placement, and even earn college credit. The 5-year programs include plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, and HVAC. A career as a journeyman means stability and security. For more information, visit ua234.com/apprenticeship. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Mia here, and gear up, sports fans. The NFL playoffs are here, and with the Super Bowl just around the corner, there has never been a better time to get in on the action with MyBookie. Don't just watch, score big with exclusive boosted odds and huge prize contests that'll have you feeling the Super Bowl fever before it even hits. 86% of bets nationally are on the Green Bay Packers to upset the 49ers. They are currently 9.5-point dogs at MyBookie. Under Kyle Shanahan, the Niners 16-2 straight up in all games in which they're favored by at least 9 points. If you believe you can bet the betters, then make sure you get on in the action with MyBookie. Make your winning move today and sign up using promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit up to $1,000. That's right, promo code 1010XL for an opportunity to boost your betting power. Experience the thrill of sports betting right from the comfort of your home, because with MyBookie, you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Join MyBookie today and be a part of the winning team.
Nick here. The Borland Groover Foundation proudly presents the annual March to Get Screened 5K race and 1 mile fun run. Sunday, April 14th. The race starts at 7 a.m. under the Fuller Warren Bridge. Their mission, raise awareness about colorectal cancer and related deaths. All proceeds benefit the Borland Groover Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
The Florida sun is burning bright and coastal waters are sparkling. You need a boat. Come to the Jacksonville Boat Show, January 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Don't miss killer deals on boats and accessories, plus fishing seminars, kids events, music, and fun. The Jacksonville Boat Show, presented by ViStar Credit Union. Tickets at boatjacks.com. That's boatjacks.com. Buy a boat.
3 ladies.
Lauren, Taylor, and Mia.
3 opinions. 3 times the fun.
Some girls have all the fun.
Helmets and heels. Driven by Tire Outlet.
And presented by Underwood Jewelers.
And First Coast Lighting and Fans. Tuesday nights at 6 on 1010XL.
The big game is in the near future, and Sonny's Barbecue is here to help. For your chance to win a barbecue feast for the big game, text Sonny's to 641-1010. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmaster since '68.
With Christmas behind us in 2024 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwood's, we'd like to stop and just say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for stopping by and giving us the chance to help. You know, in Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry, but at Underwood's, we consider it an honor to have somebody come in and just give us that chance to help, and if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods. Their trust, and it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores, and we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees, call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Double team, blocked from behind by James. Estrella with a block. And here comes Connect, and they have numbers. Connect left-handed. Oh, my goodness.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Oh, that Florida Gators men's basketball team. Hopefully they at least enjoyed their trip up to snowy Rocky Top. They got to see some snow.
They thought it would be better that they had to move the time up so there would be less fan engagement. It just so happened that, Dalton Connect, what a cool name, because he connected time and time and time again, and they ran Florida out of that gym.
Yeah.
Tennessee did.
And if you haven't fully turned your attention to basketball season yet, Dalton Connect is awesome. He is kind of the offense for Tennessee, and so anytime you allow for him to score a career-high 39 points, you're basically asking for a loss.
And you know what? He hit from the outside. He drove the lane. He finished. He did all kinds of stuff, little mid-range jumpers, and it's already a highly rated team. And the fact that you get guys like that, a grad transfer that just goes off. And Florida a couple of times got to within single digits, but it was not for long. And they just – I like what I see from Florida. They're fun. They're bigger. They can transition and drive and score, but just not at that level.
With the loss, the Gators fall to 1-3 in SEC play. Do you want me to mention now or later that Mike White and Georgia are 3-1 in SEC play?
Yeah, and that will probably be, we always have this Trayvon versus Aiden Hutchinson litmus test.
It's Mike White in basketball.
The Mike White litmus test is definitely out there. And like I said, Todd Golden, at least in my estimation, has turned over that roster in a short amount of time. Granted, it's a basketball team versus a Florida football team, but Billy Napier in no way, shape, or form has gone out and gotten guys out of the portal that can come in immediately and make plays. And between Walt and Pullen and all these other guys, they are fun to watch. And, they're going to be mid-level SEC when it's all said and done.
If they don't get to the tournament, they're still going to be fun to watch?
In the NIT, yes.
Yeah, I don't think
they'll get home games that way. They'll make some money.
Yeah, I don't think first off, I think any Florida fan out there wants to see any of their sports succeed. The spring sports school that I refer to, like the golf and the baseball team. But yeah, if they don't get to the tournament, you're going to be balking and complaining. But did Todd Golden not turn that thing around? Honestly, from what they were to where they are now?
Well, I mean, at the very least, he turned around the offense.
Yeah.
There's no more, as Hayes Carline pointed out yesterday, there's no more 5-minute weird scoring
What
droughts.
did he turn around? They're 1-3 in the league right now.
Well, I understand that.
They should be 2-2, but
SEC
that's a story for another time.
Yeah, the SEC's an improved league over the last couple of years. There is no joy in Whoville.
This is more excuse from you.
All right. Where did I put an excuse in there? Please explain that to me.
You were just coming up with it. I can see it. I can
He
see it
was
right
working
now.
on it.
Right. Was he not, JJ?
So is there any truth to the rumor that Florida's sports programs in football and basketball are now Mississippi State?
Yeah,
because that's what Hack was saying last night, and I can't really
Hack
argue
made
against
a
it.
great point, man. A great point.
Yeah, y'all are just bang average.
Mississippi State is 1-2 in men's basketball in the SEC, 12-4 overall. Florida is 1-3 and 11-6 overall. Maybe they're a step below the Hawks.
The danger isn't being an average, and that's bad enough. The danger is if we win 8 games next year, I think Billy Napier's safe. 8 games?
Right. Let me explain.
And the danger is you just saying, did he not turn that around? They're 1-3 in the league.
Yeah. It's a turnaround and a beginning of a turnaround. Let me make this very clear.
Patience, Matt.
Okay. I've never seen you're the new. I am so happy when everyone else is unhappy. There are a couple of other people who fit in that category.
I'm just tired of hearing everybody making excuses.
Okay, now here's what you've got to hear. That is not an excuse.
Okay.
It might be resignation. It might be apathy, but it's not an excuse because I'm not excusing anything. I'm basically trying to paint a better picture than what was there. Okay, is it better than what was there? It appears so, but I'm not making an excuse. And if you run Todd Golden out next year or whatever because he's not getting the job done, I'll have no problem with that. I'm not making excuses for Billy Napier. I mean, I need to be taken off of that Matt list that you have.
Next year?
No, I'm saying if
he doesn't, they don't get the term this year, he should be run.
2 years into his existence.
I don't care. It's the NIL world, man.
Listen, I would
Last
love.
year they had the
it's
Colin
the
Castleton
NIL
excuse.
world.
I would love to have a journalist checkbook that hires and fires people left and right, and never ever has to answer the bell. Never.
What do you mean never has to answer the bell? Of course I do.
No, you don't. Not when it comes to hiring and firing people.
Why not?
Because you have to have an answer for the guy.
My stuff's out there all the time. If I'm wrong, people let me know.
Yeah, but you don't have to write a check for it. And when you make a mistake as an athletics director, you got to write a check for it.
Right? Yeah. Well, you're also making $2 million a year.
Well, I get it. I'm just saying it's so easy to hire and fire from a microphone as opposed to when you're running the show.
Is it?
It is. Yes. The answer is yes. The answer is absolutely 100% yes. Since we just fired a couple of people right now within the last 2 or 3 minutes, yes, it is easier. Come on.
Can I run through? I'm going to read a couple off the text line because, man, oh, man, you guys have thoughts on this. Matt and Baker, Strickland coach choices suck. He is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Matt is the new hacker, starting Ish for fun. Can Matt explain what he would want instead? Because 500 to a championship isn't an overnight
Here's
thing.
what I want.
Don't bring up TCU. They suck.
Here's what I want instead.
Yeah.
I want to beat Vanderbilt. How about that?
Yeah. Look.
I want to beat Kentucky. How about that? Let's start low.
Yeah.
Let's low the common denominator bar way down to beating Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Missouri.
Right.
How about that?
No one is saying that. At least I don't think too many people are saying that. You know what? They wake up every morning and go,
my God, I want a special teams that doesn't have two players wearing the same number. How about that?
Hey, Radio Land. Hey, 1010XL YouTubers, raise your hand if you're okay with any of that. I don't think you are. And so what you want, I'm pretty sure is what everyone else wants.
I don't think that's true, actually. I don't think that's true. I think there now is a portion of this Florida fan base that thinks, well, if we just get to 8 wins, then you give them another year, and then maybe it'll work after that.
You're talking about the most unrealistic.
At some point, you got to rip the Band-Aid off.
Oh my gosh, I've heard this so often. You're talking about the unrealistic, over-the-top fan base that thinks they've accomplished everything when they really haven't. That's the fan base you're talking about that's willing to accept.
What's unrealistic about beating Kentucky? What's unrealistic about that?
In football, not basketball, just to be clear.
Yeah,
no, in basketball too.
It was a 2-point game, and there was a time.
They led almost the entire game.
Yeah, and they went toe-to-toe with them. There was a time.
I just want to know what's unrealistic about beating Kentucky in football, or Missouri in football, or Vanderbilt in football, or South Carolina in football.
I'm looking at YouTube right now. I don't think you're going to get an argument. I really don't. I think you might think you might.
Quite frankly, in this state with all these athletes and elite athletes in high school, beating Georgia.
Yeah.
What's unrealistic about that?
Nothing. Nothing is unrealistic about it. I am not hitching my wagon to Billy Napier with nothing but hope and acceptance of 8 wins. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I think you are.
If it makes you feel any better, Gator
I
basketball.
do think I am talking to somebody that does remind me of somebody that I used to talk to. I do think I am.
Gator basketball fans, the good news, you travel to Mizzou this Saturday, who has yet to win a game in the SEC. Then you host your twin Mississippi State next Wednesday, and then the Mike White revenge game comes to Gainesville next Saturday. So, hey, that's a chance to at least get to, 4-3 maybe in the league.
Yeah, and look, they might be closer to Mississippi State because the guy that they got running the program is from Mississippi State. So, and the guy who's running the football program is from Louisiana. And so, yeah, they might be getting closer and closer. I have said routinely, we have become an academic school, okay? So I am not pleased with the performance level of the two top sports.
I would be,
in
if I was a Florida fan, I would be livid about 1-3 in the SEC. That's number one. I'd be livid about 11 wins in 2 seasons from a football coach who his geographic recruiting footprint is the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Kids grow up wanting to play for the Gators, and they're all going everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be livid if I was a Florida fan.
Yeah, I hope.
I would not be saying, well, maybe he'll get to 8 wins next year.
You're
Maybe he'll get to
saying
9
the
wins.
same
And if he
thing
does,
again.
then maybe we'll give him another year. And then maybe we'll get to 9 or 10 the next year. Then maybe year after that in 2027, maybe they'll have a chance to beat Georgia.
AP top 25 voter here. 1-3. 2 of your 3 losses were blowout losses on the road.
Mm-hmm.
An Ole Miss team that was coming off of its first loss of the season. They were 15-0. They were 15-1.
They're good.
So there's that. You got routed yesterday by a 6th-rated Tennessee team that is top 5 by some metrics.
6th ranked, yeah.
The one that you should be upset about is you let the Kentucky game slip away. And that was at home. That's the one game that I say, you know what, you should be 2-2 in the league.
You know why Ole Miss is good so quick in basketball?
Chris Beard.
Chris Beard. Yeah. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great coach.
Yeah, and he comes from,
it was
by the way,
great hire.
Yeah, got bounced, okay?
Bag
and then,
man.
Yeah,
Not a bad man, a bag man.
Yeah, he got bounced, and they were smart to bounce on him quickly and hire him.
You saw what happened. He got bounced, but once that story played out a little bit.
Exactly. But
then you realize that maybe it wasn't what you thought it was.
Right, people overreacted. And Chris Beard is a very, very good coach. And so, yeah, I have no...
People had Texas top 3 when he was their head coach to start last season.
Yeah, I have no problem saying that what they are doing right now is well below average and unacceptable.
By the way, real quick, is there a better basketball head coach, football head coach duo than Chris Beard and Lane Kiffin in terms of elite content?
Yeah, and it's hotty-totty.
Good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, right there in Oxford.
It's not
of all places.
It's not Napier and Golden, but it's pretty good.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's close. It's XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
No, you can't take that. That's one of a kind.
Mornings.
We won't put a scratch on it.
On 1010XL.
We're fully insured. Fully insured?
Right now, save big at Key Buick GMC, like $15,000 off the new GMC trucks. Need some low APR rates? Key Buick GMC has them. Rates as low as 0.9% for 36 months, 3.9% for 48 months, 4.9% for up to 60 months, and 6.9% APR for 72 months. And no payments up to 90 days, that's 3 months. No payments, that's Key Buick GMC. We are professional grade, located at the corner of Southside and Gate, or visit KeyBuickGMC.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Underdog Fantasy. Look, your fantasy football season might be over, but you can still win money playing fantasy sports on Underdog Fantasy with their Pick'em game. All you do is pick higher or lower on player stats during the NFL playoffs to spice things up, and you can win up to 100 times your money if all your picks hit. Underdog is so easy to play, but it's even easier to get started. All you do, download their app or visit UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up using promo code 1010XL, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. They'll give you a special pick of higher than 1/2 total yard to use on your first Pick'em entry. Look, you know I love daily fantasy sports. It's why I play Underdog Fantasy. So sign up using promo code 1010XL to get that initial deposit bonus of up to $100. You must be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
JEA is dedicated to keeping your utility costs down, so we offer programs and solutions to help you use less and save more. From simple and easy tips that reduce usage to free in-home efficiency assessments that show you ways to be more energy and water efficient, and efficiency rebates that help you save on appliance upgrades. Because as your community-owned, not-for-profit utility, we're here to serve you, and only you. To learn more, Visit JEA.com.
When's the last time you had your dryer vent cleaned? A clogged dryer vent is a fire hazard and wastes money on your electric bill. First Coast Home Pros dryer vent cleaning specialists are here to help. FirstCoastHomePros.com.
Everything you need to know about your Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars Today with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
Every weekday from 10 to noon on 1010XL.
Toilet or shower not draining? Water bill high? So many issues you want to cry? Call Mr. Rooter of Jacksonville. Have your number 2 business serviced by your number 1 plumber. Let us do your dirty work. Call us today.
Mr. Rooter, Mr. Rooter. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying. They can also signal a major problem or electrical emergency. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888 Sparky. Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Ready to spice up your Wednesday? Head to Players Grill for Wing Wednesday. Enjoy mouth-watering wings for just 75 cents each. Plus, make it a happy hour all day long. Cheers to unbeatable deals and good times. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
Baloo for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Finding a financial advisor is something we all want to do, yet according to a survey done by Statista in 2021, 54% of Americans don't have financial representation. Hey, it's scary unless you head over to ITP Partners. I've known Chris Bryan at ITP Partners for 2 decades. He's part of a long-time group of Jacksonville guys. Brian Wright, Reagan Wright, Jeff Hartman, Craig Ross, Dan Abel, our neighbors, friends, and family. Don't be a part of the 54%. Do what you're going to do and do it today. So give Chris a call, 312-9751, or email him at chris@itppartners.com.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances performance in the bedroom. Call 904-664-8217.
I-9 Sports. Kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. Right now, winter and spring registration is open, so make sure you find out what I-9 Sports offers in your area. Duval, Clay, and St. John's. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically, if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, New York Jets safeties coach Marquand Manuel will interview for the Jaguars' defensive coordinator job on Thursday. Manuel played his college football at Florida and played 8 years as a defensive back in the NFL. Manuel was the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons from 2017 to 2018. He was also on Doug Peterson's defensive staff in Philadelphia. New York Jets safeties coach Marquand Manuel is set to interview for the Jaguars' defensive coordinator job on Thursday. Stay tuned to 1010XL for the latest reports. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I love it when JJ comes in with the music. Just kind of puts you in a good mood. It's cold outside, but just listen to the the sounds of Pacifico. So I have come up with the name for it. If you get the Pacifico question right, what will it be? You are perfecto. Perfecto. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Pacifico, you might say perfecto. Found in Baja, imported by surfers for those who live life. Anchors up. Now, I've got the question for you, and I decided, since we're in a good mood with that just awesome sound, I'm going to make a couple of them easy to get us started, okay? A couple of them easy. I set that up for you, didn't I? Now I make it harder in your head, don't I?
I like it.
All right, so the Texans, as much as I hate them, they are now in a position, become the third team since 1950, okay? Third since 1950 to basically come into the postseason and win multiple postseason games with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, DeMeco Ryans and C.J. Stroud. Third since 1950. Who are they trying to join?
St. Louis Rams.
See if we can get perfecto here. Okay, remember, rookie head coach, rookie quarterback.
Rookie head coach. That's the problem.
Oh, my God.
Who was... No, it was Andrew Luck.
I could fall asleep with the Pacifico in my hand right
no,
now.
it was Jim Caldwell was the coach. Peyton
What about
was it Tomlin and Roethlisberger?
Yeah, Tomlin and Roethlisberger. Although Roethlisberger had Cowher.
He did.
Yeah, for at least a year.
What about John Fox and Jake Delhomme?
That's a good one. I think Jake Delhomme was a journeyman already.
Yeah.
He came into the league a journeyman.
Yeah, he had been what? Had he been
Nick Foles and Chip Kelly.
Saint.
Did they make the playoffs?
No, but Foles was not a rookie, I don't believe.
No, he. Oh yeah, right. He was drafted the year before.
This is going to be like, I can tell you right now what this is going to be. This is going to be like John Madden and Daryl LaMonica's going to be one of them. You know that's happening.
I will tell
this
you,
is not easy.
I will tell you this much. I said since 1950. Right. This is what we're talking about. This is much more recent vintage.
Easy is like, who's the all-time home run leader?
Yeah.
Much more recent vintage.
Much more recent vintage.
Wow, really?
Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback.
Ron
to
Rivera
win.
wasn't.
What about Sean McNo?
Ron Rivera and Cam Newton was my thought.
Oh, Sean McVay and Goff?
No, because Goff wasn't a rookie. He had Jeff Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
Purdy?
Multiple.
No, but Shanahan wasn't a
Shanahan
rookie.
wasn't right.
All right, I'll throw it at you.
Please.
All right, now these will kill you when you hear them. But they are probably, like, as soon as you hear it, and believe me, I'm the king of once I hear it, oh, yeah, that makes sense. John Harbaugh and Joe Flacco.
Wow.
Okay, Harbaugh came in as the first-year head coach. Joe Flacco came in as a first-round draft pick, and they not only did they win their first season of multiple postseason games, they made it to in like
divisional round?
5-6
Or
straight years.
championship? Yeah.
But they won multiple postseason games their first year. The other one will drive you crazy. Sexy Rexy and Mark Sanchez.
Wow.
The text line got it,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, did they?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent work, text line. Because Mark Sanchez came in as a rookie, and Rex Ryan was a rookie when they went in 2009, and they were able to win back-to-back games. And so that's a good one right there. That's a good one. All right, perfecto. We'll see if we can get it each time we go out. And when we talk about multiple postseason games, the Houston Texans, you ask this question now because how many of us are going to pick the Houston Texans to pick off the Baltimore Ravens?
I mean, I'm going to pick them to cover. That's a big 9.5-point line.
Yeah.
The one that I won't pick to cover, I mentioned this in one of my reads earlier from my bookie. Did you hear this one? 86% of bets nationally are on the Packers to upset the Niners, and yet, the Niners are 16-2 straight up in all games when favored by at least 9 points. They're favored by 9.5.
16-2 when favored by 9. And here's the thing: does it show the percentage of bets versus the percentage of money? Because I bet there are a lot of tickets on the Packers. I just wonder how much money is on the Packers. All right, so to your point, listen to these numbers. All right, because I don't know which way we'll go when it comes to our picks on Friday, but the San Francisco 49ers have dominated the Green Bay Packers in the 21st century. And that includes with the world's greatest, Aaron, honestly, because they had to go up to Green Bay and still figured out a way to beat them. Remember Robbie Gould hitting that kick in the snow, that bitter cold? Dude, that was one of the great ones. So since, let me see here, last 4 playoff games, that San Francisco has played against Green Bay, with apologies to Matty, my beer man, because he's such a diehard Packer man. The San Francisco 49ers are 4-0 against the Green Bay Packers. Points per game, 29.5. Points per game differential, 9.2. Almost beat them by double digits. Turnover margin, +3. The last Green Bay playoff win against San Francisco, 2001 in the wild card.
Wow.
2001. And this one, honestly, this one might be the surprise one, because if you go back to 2001, you still had Favre. Yeah. And so Favre with his
Jeff Garcia?
Yeah. With his magic, and then Aaron from, what was it, 2008 on.
Yeah.
And so
I was trying to think who the Niners quarterback was then.
Yeah. But you were right with Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I think Garcia might have been a little after. I remember the TO game where he caught the touchdown in the playoffs, like at the goal line, and got kind of hit by a couple guys who got in there.
Two guys crushed him.
That might have been after 2001.
Yeah. That sounds like that would have been. Well, they won that game though.
The Niners did.
Yeah.
Which is saying that Green Bay hasn't won since 2001. He said.
You're right. That was a great one. So we'll go back and look at them. But I saw the video of Robbie Gould hitting that kick, and Robbie Gould's like 99 years old as a kicker, and just a couple of years ago when they faced off up there, and this was all the chatter about whether or not Aaron would come back and all that type of stuff. And Shanahan's had him in a great spot, but he has not been able to get him to the Super Bowl. The last one to get him there was Harbaugh, and the injury to Brock Purdy obviously hurt their chances last year. So we will see. All right, that was a good one. We'll keep it going with some more as we get ready for the divisional round.
It was Jeff Garcia, by the way.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, the Packers won 25-15 that day, and Garrison Hurst, Amon Green, Antonio Freeman, J.J. Stokes, legendary J.J.
Jaguar career.
I'm just happy I got
didn't know
the
he
Garcia.
played for the Jags.
I still got it, baby.
Yeah, he was here for a minute. We're talking
a minute.
Yeah, like a legit minute. It was well after the Magic Loogie from Bill Romanowski. All right, it's XL Primetime. We wrap ours up. We get ready for the Francis Show.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. You can find 1010XL on any social media platform: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. At 1010XL.
Joe C. for Golden Diamonds Direct to try and drop some of that football knowledge on you. Well, I can drop some knowledge when it comes to selecting jewelry, and you want someone who's been in business for a long time. Golden Diamonds Direct's been in business for 40 years. Now, they have that beautiful location, real easy to find, on Racetrack Road, Publix Plantation Plaza. Real easy to find. And you're talking about the same staff from Chip, Curtis, Sammy, Carrie. They're just all good people, and they have got lab diamonds, mined, and full service that they can take care of. If you can imagine it, just let them know what you're looking for, and just think of that Valentine. Make sure you take care of her or him, whomever it might be. Gold and Diamonds Direct. Find them in the Publix Plantation Plaza when you're shopping for your Valentine.
It's Mike Dempsey. Instead of trying another diet or lose weight quick fad this January, why don't you succeed this year with Awaken 180? Proven, easy to follow weekly weight loss, and then receive free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Start your new year off healthy and get screened at Ackerman Cancer Center with on-site imaging, including whole-body MRI, PET and CT scans, and mammography. Early detection is key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Attention veterans, if you have a VA loan, you need to listen to this, especially if your current rate is higher than 6.5%. Now is the time to take advantage of the federal government's VA Streamlined Refinance Program. With my friends at Loan Pronto, you can. Go to loanpronto.com. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto has fixed rate APRs in the 5s. You can drop your rate now. Lower your payment with no income documentation and no appraisal. Do it at loanpronto.com. Their all-digital platform makes it easy. They can even cover your closing costs. If you need cash now, Loan Pronto can get you up to 100% of your home value. You can pay off all your credit cards or other debt and save as much as $1,000 a month. Call Loan Pronto now at 904-999-1508 or get a 30-second rate quote at loanpronto.com. Ask about streamlined VA loans, no income doc, and no appraisal. Loan Pronto, 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Tired of dealing with clogged drains? What about bad smells coming from your pipes? You need to call Duck Duck Rooter, your plumbing pros in Northeast Florida. Duck Duck Rooter can help with any plumbing issue at your home or business. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoors Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. Want the freshest seafood in town? From mahi to tuna to scallops to oysters. Mayport CNC Fisheries is in Atlantic Beach. Do what I did. Go enjoy Mayport CNC Fisheries.
Chronic pain can be very bossy. What do I mean? It tells you what you can or can't do. Sometimes it even has the audacity to keep you from working.
I missed almost 3 weeks of work, and I was no longer able to play tennis. The pain was really debilitating sometimes. I missed Thanksgivings.
Abby was ready to put the bossy bad back in her past. And that's when she discovered QC Kinetics and their non-surgical treatments for pain. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine with tens of thousands of satisfied patients, people who have experienced real lasting relief without drugs and without surgery.
It has just been the most life-changing, amazing experience. Not only life-changing, but career-saving. I get to continue to do the career that I love. I'm playing tennis again.
Stop letting that joint pain boss you around. Start with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill. Brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit TireOutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
Lauren Brooks joins us now. We got the Francis Show ready to rock and roll on a cold. Has it warmed up yet outside?
It was like 46 when I pulled in the parking lot a little bit ago. I feel like that's a lot warmer than it was.
Yeah, it was. TLD pulled out this morning, and I think inside the garage, she said it said 68. Pulled out, it's like 36 before, you drove 100 yards down the road. It was cold.
When we walked the dog this morning, it was a cool 31 degrees.
Yeah. Look, I don't like it. I don't like it.
As long as you dress for it, it's really not that bad. But
Right.
I will say, so the only thing that I had exposed was my face, and my face was cold, but I wore gloves, and then I was fine.
Yeah.
And long johns, obviously.
Yeah, like
See?
Matt.
See?
Matt. Yeah.
Wait,
oh, yeah.
what do you mean?
You use the term
See,
long johns.
I wore.
It's a southern term.
I said
all the way.
I wore long underwear this morning. They're all like,
okay.
"What?"
Matt, you have got to quit including me in that group, okay? You have put me in so many groups, and I was not shocked at all.
So
and
long
I went
underwear
straight with
versus
you.
long johns? That's
It's long
the
johns.
conversation?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long johns.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I just always have said long johns.
Yeah. And
I've
then-
had my long johns for like 20 years because I only wear them like once a year.
Yeah, and then
Thank
But when you
goodness.
wear them, it's the best.
Oh, absolutely. You
The
can't
best.
survive without them at a certain temperature.
What's coming up?
Well, we will not talk all about the weather for
Mhm.
3 hours, I promise. We'll certainly get into the Jaguars' defensive coordinator search. We'll talk a lot college football like you did, a lot of college football, a lot going on, and have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. All right,
That's
sounds
what we do.
good. We'll be listening.
All right, thanks.
All right, you have got the Francis Show coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Let's hit it now, JJ.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
My takeaway is don't settle. Just don't settle for 8 wins or 1.
I knew where he was going on that one.
Don't settle.
Don't be Mississippi State. You're better than that. My takeaway is, for the first time this winter, we got to talk basketball on XL Primetime, and that's very exciting, even if the Florida Gators are 1-3. But like I said, it's not too tough a road to travel this next week. Win these next 3, and maybe you aren't Mississippi State.
Yeah, I would always say that you get to February and you see what the conference schedule looks like. The SEC's improved. There is no doubt.
There's some good teams in the SEC. And by the way, Kentucky is in the middle of the pack, technically, if you look at the standings right now.
And if you take a look at the top 10 overall, 7 of the top 10 have been knocked off within the last week?
Yeah, by unranked teams, by the way.
Yeah, and so it's happening left and right everywhere, so it definitely can happen. All right, my takeaway is that take your time. Take your time, Doug Peterson, when it comes to going through all these interviews and making sure who you're going to choose when it comes to defensive coordinator, because you're looking at newbies, you're looking at old guys. But the fact is that he's opening up all the possibilities, including Ron Nielsen, who will come in from Atlanta, Marquand Manuel, who will come in from New York, Wink Martindale with I guess basically a 2-day interview. More to come. Take your time and make sure whoever you hire is also going to hire some good people to come along with him, because I think that is as important as anything. Get a staff that can dominate the defensive side of the football. That's going to do it for us. Thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. Don't forget 287-PLAY. You're always going to want to check out what they've got going on at the Golf Club of Southampton. Thursday night, they got trivia, so you can stay warm inside. Friday night, under the stars on the patio. You can enjoy music, so the golf course doesn't close when the sun goes down. Check out the Golf Club of Southampton. Joe C., me, O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Sirs, and JJ. We got the Francis Show coming up next.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studio.